still streaming.
Yay!
So
Wait.
we gotta make sure it populates.
Phil, you ready to do our intro?
Vaguely. Well, there's nobody here yet, so wait till there's people here.
Okay.
Yeah, it's live. We're live.
We're live.
We're
Let's go.
live.
It's live.
Yeah, we didn't have any panels this year.
We'll make our own panels.
We'll make our own panels.
There is
I'm totally
something on
not salty or
microphone.
anything at all.
There,
for sure.
Objection,
Yes.
Ikkicon did not let us have a panel, but it's fine.
Yes,
We'll
it's
make
totally
our
fine.
own and it'll be better.
Yes, which
And
is what we're doing right now.
Woo.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't hit the mic. Okay. Hey, somebody tell the big group chat.
Oh yeah, somebody should tell the big group chat. That's populated enough.
Oh yeah.
Tom is saying, "Oh, hello."
Oh, hi, Tom. Tom who? Which Tom?
Tom Rom. Tom Rom.
Tom Rom. That's
Tom
a good
Rom.
name.
Tom Rom. Hi, Tom Rom.
That's a good name. Alright, Ash, you gotta keep us updated.
I'm working on it. That's
Keep
my
us
goal.
updated,
That's
Ash.
my job. I'm behind the
Objection!
camera.
Oh, right, the camera's over
Peter,
here.
Yeah.
scoot toward Maisley, Peter.
Okay.
It's not exactly a live studio to audience.
It is
Yeah.
not. It's just
I mean-
me.
We have Ash, and we have, like, a bunch of people behind Ash who are going to be rotating in and out of everything at some point tonight.
Uh-huh.
That is the plan.
That is the plan.
So, hopefully that'll work smoothly.
Yep, we're gonna get started with our horror stories once we have enough people here yet, but whoever's here, feel free to ask questions, we will answer them.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
answer.
All right, we
We want
have
stuff to
Quentin
do.
says, "Hi, everyone." Tom says, "Hey, Potato Pie says, greetings. How art thou?"
Hi, potato pie, that sounds delicious.
Oh, everyone on screen should introduce themselves.
Yeah, we should.
Is this a podcast now?
Yes.
Yeah, it's live.
Yes,
It's
we're
live.
we're live.
We are live.
I guess I'll start.
That is how this normally
Off
goes.
Yes, that's how
Screen.
podcasts
Off
usually start.
screen, we should tilt that then.
Oh yeah, you're right. Ha! I'm the camera girl
Yeah.
now.
Yeah,
Ash
And
camera.
the grip. And
All
the
the
monitor.
power.
And the director.
Yes.
Hello, I'm Philliard. I'm Matthew Norton Fire Emblem, Sakazaka Yuya, and Hatful Boyfriend, Leo Harway, and Extra, Director of Kindred Spirits. I made Dungeon Fighter, and now I'm here.
Yes.
He's also
He's
the
here.
male mage in Dungeon Fighter.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Good. I'm Tyranny. I'm like the dude in charge of like literally everything. So, hi. And I also play the Beard and Bobby Fulbright.
And that's about it.
Injustice We Trust. Well, the only big roles right now anyway. Because I don't want to be involved in big roles at the moment.
You're so humble.
Thank you.
All I heard was muttering. Guys, you might talk a little louder into the microphone.
Like, turn when you speak.
Oh,
it's on
it is-
omnidirectional, but it's also not perfect.
Alright, does
Okay.
Phil want to redo his then?
Phil, redo yours.
How's the volume on it?
You can turn it up a little louder. So 3/4 right now.
Here. We'll, like, turn it up.
Lily says, "Hello."
That's the
Oh
volume
my
for the
God.
Hi,
headphones.
Lily.
That's the volume for the headphones, not the microphone.
Why is that the first thing you say?
Okay, I'll turn it up a little.
Oh, what else are you supposed to
Well,
say?
hello, I'm Philliard. I play Matthew and Dart in Fire Emblem, Sakazaki Yuya, and Hatful Boyfriend, Leo Harway, and Fate Extra. I'm the director of Kindred Spirits, and I made and play the male mage in Dungeon Fighter.
Yay!
Lily says, "Mazer, give me a shout out."
When I get there. We
Still
an
have to go
order
through
here.
my
We have an
intro.
order here.
Okay, so Peter.
Packing order. Just kidding.
Just for that, you can go ahead of Peter.
Okay.
Does he deserve it at this point?
Probably
Well,
not.
Peter went, so whatever.
Sheesh.
Oh, okay, so we're skipping Peter's reading.
Okay,
his
I'm
intro.
Tyranny. I'm in charge of everything. Majorly go.
Okay,
God
thank you,
damn it.
Peter. Hi, I'm Mazerly. I'm in charge of Halloween Otome. I'm the co-director of Lady of the Shard. I'll be taking over Fire Emblem. I am Aretha and Octafire, Hakuno and Fate Extra, Yoka and Miyu in Kindred Spirits on the Roof. I was the female fighter in Dungeon Fighter. And hi, Lily.
Yay! Passing the mic.
And I'm Creed Keeper. That's it.
That's it?
Oh, you do
that's
stuff.
right.
I do
Come
stuff.
on.
Come on, you do
a
stuff.
lot of stuff.
Yes. I was Fukawa in Danganronpa.
That's a was now? Good God.
We
Yes,
finished
that is
it.
officially
Amazing.
a was.
Oh, and I remember I have to be loud.
Along
Oh,
with
geez.
Lotus for 999.
I can be loud.
And quite a few others here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
Alright.
We did a thing.
we have some horror stories.
Yep,
Do we have
tonight.
some horror stories?
Dun, dun, dun. Where's the switch? I want to like flip it on.
We need a lightning switch? Is that
Are you going to lightning switch it?
What? Lightning switch.
Wrong one.
Yeah.
I want this one. So we just flip it
I've
on.
always pictured Maze with brown hair for some reason. Says
I mean-
Infinity Zero.
I mean, it's like brownish in the summer, so you're half right.
Sort of.
But, no, it's mostly dark. Anyway, tonight we're going to be doing some live stuff since we got a bunch of us in one place, and we're going to go over a lot of VO horror stories.
Yeah, you guys can hear us, right? No more muttering. Tell us if you can hear us. We want to make sure.
Keep us updated.
Yeah,
Keep
let
us
us know if
updated.
there are any technical issues, because we've never done this before, and we're
Tell
kind of
us if
winging
we
it.
tell us if we absolutely suck at this. No, please don't do that.
You can tell Peter that later.
Oh, Jesus,
He's the
everybody
one in
already
charge
does.
of everything,
That's
remember?
what YouTube comments are for.
Apparently
Yeah,
this is-
exactly.
Apparently, this is Peter's podcast. So any and all problems solved in the podcast would
Send
be
it to
blamed
his
on him.
P.O.
No, no.
box.
Yeah,
all,
send-
all praise goes to Phil, all problems go to Peter. That's
Exactly.
That's how it works.
Exactly.
We know this already. Jesus Christ. All right.
Anyway.
So, who wants to start with their voice actor horror story?
Oh, is that the lightning switch?
Ah. Hold
Or is it
on.
a different
Does it
switch?
make lightning?
No, that would be
Nope, that's the fan.
Man.
That's the fan.
All right.
Oh.
Technical
Oh.
difficulties.
Oh.
There it goes.
Objection.
Otto says, look at all these dumb nerds congregated in one place.
There
You know
are
what,
so
Otto?
many more
You
nerds
know what?
behind the camera.
There are many more
You
nerds
actually
here.
got to see, like,
It's what, 15 of us this year?
There's 15 of us.
15 of us.
This is actually a really long table. Like 15 people that left to me.
And to
Yeah.
think that's only what, like a fifth of our group
Oh,
size?
yeah,
Good
barely.
God.
It's wild having everyone in one place.
It is.
This is
And
absolutely
all in
ridiculous.
my house.
Yeah, most of us
Yeah.
are staying with Ash right now. It's kind of crowded, but you know, thank you, Ash, for letting us all crash
I
there.
love you.
Thank you, Ash. Yay.
Stories.
So-
Stories.
All right,
Tweet
stories.
it finally. Give me a minute.
Who wants to start us off with their VO horror stories?
Dun, dun, dun.
I have one from when I did voice acting originally. I haven't done a lot outside of the project, admittedly, but I do have a funny story. So one of the first roles I ever did was in somebody's like 3D animated project that they wanted to make into like a TV show. They had written a script and like put together episodes and stuff like that, and I was playing a skeleton with an Australian accent.
Okay.
Yes, that was one of my first voiceover roles,
That's-
which was fine. The episode came out. It was animated, admittedly, fairly poorly, but it was interesting to see that he actually put out something. And the script was very South Park-esque, I want to say. So this happened, and then we were waiting for the next episode to come out, and we waited for like 3 months until the guy finally updated the chat and was like, "Hey guys, my trial ran out for my 3D program, so we're done." It
Okay.
was like, fantastic!
Yeah,
we're
we
done.
got one
Yeah.
thing done.
Yay!
That's more than a lot of other things get done, to be fair.
This is true.
And then it was all over.
And
Yeah.
he tried to recruit me again like 2 years later, and I said nope.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Yep, next.
Who wants to do...
I'll do one.
Oh, Vathana, camera.
You.
Pay attention, goddammit!
I am monitoring like everything.
The cameraman.
Let me work.
All right.
Tell me what to do.
The first story I have here was of the first original project that I was ever a part of. Because I had helped with a bunch of fan dubs and stuff like that beforehand. But this is the first one that had original writing. And so I had thought, yeah, this is going to be really cool. I mean, there's somebody who's really on board for the writing. He seems to be very professional about things. And then as the months went by, we realized that we didn't have a programmer. We didn't have any music. We didn't really have any writing or scripting. And the actors were kind of questionable too. Oh, and we also didn't have any of the software that we needed.
Okay.
So while this was going on, different people were stepping up, like, oh, well, if we need that, I can do that. Like, if AV sees this, he was in this group and he knows what I'm talking about. He volunteered to do all of our sound work. And someone else volunteered to do all of the editing. And someone else said, hey, I happen to have a trial for this program. Peter knows how those trial goes.
I know all about trials.
There, Peter.
Yes.
But as it was going on, even as we didn't actually have anything for this yet, the person who was in charge of the project decided that we were going places and that we had the potential to be something great. But no, he didn't want anyone stealing this idea for this magical project that was going to be the next big thing.
I mean, dream big.
Dream big for sure. But what his solution to that was that we all had to sign contracts saying that we would not only not talk about the project, not talk about him specifically, not talk about anything that we were working on, any of the characters, any of the intellectual property that he was creating. We were not even allowed to mention the project's name or the studio. And in order to continue working on this project and to join the privilege of joining his studio on its very first attempt at making anything ever, we had to sign this in-depth contract that he created.
Now, first question, was he paying you anything?
No, he was not paying us anything. He had absolutely nothing set up. No one was getting paid for anything. Oh, and like a couple months later, he was still using the music that Avi had made for him, even after he had told him to take it down.
Okay.
But yeah, these contracts that he then had me proofread, which I promptly put in a clause that said I'm not involved with this and sent it back to him. And that's my voice acting horror story.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Pass the microphone.
All right.
Pass to
Oh, do we have a studio audience now?
Apparently we have a studio audience now, if anybody can
Let
even
me
hear
say, real quick, just I'm working on something right now. I'm working on a couple of things, you know. It's like you get excited about it. You get that hype. You know, you got the next big thing. People are gonna pay attention to it. They're gonna love you. But don't fucking cast your voice actors until everything else is done. There's no point.
Make sure you're prepared first, please.
You don't have the pictures. You don't have the writing. You don't have the game. If you don't have everything, like everything you need for voice actors to actually do their shit, don't cast them.
Then we sit around and we do nothing and we get bored. And then we take on like too many things.
There's just
Thank
no
you,
point.
Gwen. Thank you. I don't know if the mic's
what
picking
Phil
that up.
says is true, and I have had to learn that the hard way with some things, admittedly.
You've learned a lot, though, Peter. We're all very proud of you.
And
Thank you.
bonus
Come a
points,
long way.
if your project
Yay,
actually
thank you,
gets
thank
that
you.
far to the point where you should be casting voice actors, that means it's probably not going to crash and burn.
Well, not necessarily, but hopefully. Yay.
Thank you, Ash.
Yeah.
That's all Gwen. Gwen had this.
This thing.
I'm glad you had that ready.
Yeah, no, my mom gave it to me as a Christmas present so someone would laugh at my jokes.
Okay.
You want to tell one Mazer or should I?
Thank you.
Oh, before Mazer says anything, let me remind everybody that we have a Patreon, because I have to. Anyways, go ahead, Mazer.
Am I doing one now?
I can't chill too hard, okay?
Go ahead.
Yes, you can.
Okay. Which one should I do? The Kindred Spirits one, or let's do the Kindred Spirits one while Peter's here. Actually.
Oh, Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
yeah.
You're
Okay.
gonna
So
okay.
we might drag Peter a little for this.
well,
And
you
most-
just said a nice thing about me, so fine.
Most
Sure.
everyone in the chat knows about this by now. But back when Phil was proposing the idea of dubbing Kindred Spirits on the Roof, he was still fairly new to the group. And he had asked Peter. Peter was like, I mean, it's kind of a long game. You're new at this. It's not the best idea. But then I was like, hey, Phil, this is kind of a cool game, and it looks like it'd be fun to do. I'll talk to Peter if you want. So I talked to Peter, and Peter eventually relents. However, his reasonings for having me be His reasonings for having me be the co-director were, what were your words, Peter?
I don't really want to say it.
What were they?
Go ahead, Peter.
No, come on.
Because lesbians understand Yuri games more.
And that's why I'm the co-director for Kindred Spirits on the Roof. Thank you and good night.
Oh my god. Amazing. There's the audience studio laughter.
There they are.
They don't even know what we're clapping for.
God
I don't know.
damn it.
We could do just a whole roasting Peter session, but he has improved a lot.
Yeah, he has come such a long way from the very beginning of
We'll
everything.
do whatever the hell the chat wants to do. I don't care.
I don't know. Do we need more roasting?
Do we need a roast of
Hey,
me?
does anyone want to roast Peter while he's here?
Oh my god.
I roast Peter all the time.
In public, Ryan!
Yes,
for
we can
everyone
do
to
it
see!
in public.
Attorney!
Ace Attorney is everywhere. It's omnipotent. It's always existing before and after time.
I don't know. I remember one of the first things that you told me when we were working on 999 the first time. So in the original 999, when we were talking about some of the editing for it, there were it was when it was still a Let's Play more than a Let's Dub.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, before it was ever a Let's Dub. With the initial few episodes, you sneezed on the recording.
Oh my god.
And you said that it wasn't worth cutting out because it wasn't worth the time to edit that out.
I did
Bye,
say that.
Paco.
Apparently,
You said that.
I did say that.
But you've gotten so much better, and now things are actually amazing. And you proofread other people's, and you copy edit other people's stuff, and say, that needs to change. And that is testament to how far you've come.
He's come such a long
I
way,
wouldn't
guys.
even edit out sneezing. That's amazing to hear, because I don't remember it
I mean,
very well,
we
but I'm
watched
sure you're
the
right.
original 999.
We watched Genderbender last night.
Oh my god,
We
yes,
watched
we watched
Genderbender.
Genderbender. Which
So-
wasn't my project, but still.
No, but you did approve that going out into the public eye. So
I approve certain sections of it that maybe should not have been approved.
yeah, maybe.
It
All right,
happens.
Phil.
Yes.
Huh?
Would you like? Do you have any stories?
Do we want to? I don't know if I want to blow all my stories right now. Okay.
I mean, we
Just
can
one.
cycle through
Just say one.
people.
All right, whatever. I'll give one. Okay.
What's our view count? I'm curious.
I don't know.
right.
What are the comp?
It's important, god dang
So
it.
let's
Give me a sec.
so let's go back in time 1
Like
year.
15 people.
There was-
Neat. All right.
So I auditioned for this project. It was like an original animated YouTube series. It actually seemed pretty cool. You know, the guy had like a whole like original world and everything. And I was like, okay. I auditioned for a bunch of characters. I get like I get to be a part of like the minor ensemble. And so the first thing that happened with this series was the guy sent everybody else scripts, and then he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot you were a part of the cast." And then he emailed me a script. So like, all right, dude. And then so I do my part, like my little like 5 lines. I email him back,
Go ahead.
and I'm like,
Yes.
so I emailed the guy my lines. Nothing happens. Like 6 months go by. I hear absolutely nothing from this guy. And after that, he posts an update on Casting Call Club where he's like, okay, so yeah, this project went dead because in funding it, I ran out of money and I had to start stealing from grocery stores to survive.
What the hell?
I got put in jail, but now I'm living with my parents and I'm ready to finish this project.
You know, that guy
Oh
has
my
so
God.
much dedication.
Apparently so.
It's even better because he said in the process of trying to animate the series by himself, he suffered humongous damage to his drawing hand. I mean, I gotta give the guy credit because he's a lot more dedicated than most other people I've worked.
Are you sure he was telling the truth?
I have no idea, but if he was telling the truth,
I mean, if he was telling the
huge
truth,
props to
then
that
jeez.
guy. Like,
I have
Good
many
God.
questions.
I think we all do.
Ugh,
Okay.
I have many questions every day.
Peter, do you have any more stories, or do we need to roast you more before we bring more
Ah.
people in?
We
Jesus
did have
Christ.
people who were very adamant that wanted a little more roasting of Peter.
Oh, they want more roasting to Peter.
Well, I mean, I have, horror stories of people that I have worked with in the project.
Go
But if you guys want to do more roasting work, go
I
ahead
mean,
first.
do you want to bring up some of the hidden backstories of the project?
Oh god.
Hidden backstories of the project.
I don't know. There's a lot of changes. Like even with Danganronpa, there was
Yeah.
so much recasting.
Jesus
That
Christ.
could be something we can talk about.
Oh, man. So,
Danganronpa was.
I don't know. You know, it's like, I don't know how much I should say because I don't know how many people that I will be talking about would actually be watching this
I mean,
at
you
some
can
point.
not name names.
Yeah, just don't name names.
But they'll know who they are. I mean, it'll be obvious, but
Phil really
still.
likes your shirt.
And you gotta make it not
shirt.
obvious.
Yeah.
I've never seen a story.
Just use subtlety.
Yeah, just
Peter subtlety.
Oh my God,
subtlety for
that's not
Peter
gonna
is
work.
hard.
I know,
It is very
that's
hard.
So like me. So like me.
Yes, pretend to be Vathana and don't say anything.
Don't be you.
Okay.
Don't be
Run off
you.
in the middle of
that
nowhere,
much.
in the middle of a
Not
conversation,
that
and not be able to be found? Yes.
Just
I would do that all the time.
Okay, well, alright, I can tell the story of the dude that played... Okay, well, I probably shouldn't mention the role.
no.
Just
No.
don't mention it. Just say it.
Peter, come
So, okay, so there was a dude that I worked with in a series where we had posted the first episode. Everybody was happy with it. They're like, oh, this is cool, yeah, blah, blah, blah. It was like a different thing we kind of did. And then he gets upset, and he posts in the comments and is like, oh my god, I sound so horrible, take this down, this is awful, take down the video. And he posts this, like, legitimately publicly in the comments. And he's like, dude, you don't sound that bad. Chill the hell out. Objection. Yeah, it's like, dude, chill the hell out. You don't sound that bad. I had to have a conversation with him to keep the episode up and convince him that it was worth, being there. Just do better next time. He eventually proceeded to piss off a lot of people in the project, including myself, and cause a lot of trouble. So I had to talk with him, and I ended up blacklisting him as probably the second person I ever blacklisted from the project. He kept contacting me on Tumblr saying, hey, unblock me, hey, unblock me, hey, unblock me, and I
Hey.
just ignored it.
Pro tip: don't ever do that if somebody blacklists you.
Right.
Don't
Yeah.
bother them on other social media.
So subtlety is for people who aren't making points.
That actually.
Quentin has to say.
Oh.
Yeah, we call Mazerly Mazer the infernity.
That actually
What?
reminds me of something that
It's a chat.
That happened-
Responding to chat.
Can't wait to be checking my phone.
something
on
pretty
stream.
minor, but like
Put him on stream, checking his phone.
Yeah.
I did like
Hidden Paco Slim.
I did a part for this like thing, this series.
Is that like a hidden Monokuma?
I'm watching the stream.
That's a streamception. Oh shit.
Uh-oh. I could see us on there. Good God, that's really scary.
Yeah, that's you on there.
I did a.
Whoa!
Okay, all right. Phil's got a story.
I did
to
the
tell.
main character for this like Persona 3 fandom, and a mistake. First of all,
Yep.
that game is really fucking long.
One sec to answer this question. Blacklisting. Explain blacklisting real fast.
Blacklisting is when I kick somebody out of the project and pretty much make sure that they have nothing else to do with me or anything that we do.
Yep.
Yes.
Basically, if someone's a major jerk and we never want to work with them again.
Pretty much, yes.
Gentlemen, that was it. There was a question in chat, so I want to make sure I didn't answer that too far.
I did the main character in this Persona 3 fandom, and the first episode comes out.
God damn it,
I should say the only episode comes out, and everybody's like okay with it. Like everybody's like, oh yeah, good job. And this one fucker is just like he starts like roasting everything about it, like everybody's performances and the video editing.
Oh,
and I'm just
What
like,
are those
what
people?
the fuck, dude? Like, come on. Let people be a little proud of something. And I'm pretty sure that dude is like the reason why there was never a second episode. Because
Jeez, was he that roasty about it?
He really discouraged everybody who was working on it. It's just like, come on, dude.
Okay.
That was just me.
Alright, so do you
Fuck
have
that.
any...
Oh, I've got one more.
Oh.
Pass the mic.
We
Well,
don't have an efficient way of doing this.
We're sorry. Maybe
It's
next
all
year.
good.
You guys just gotta deal with it.
It's fine. It's fine.
So, just on a general note, never do really long projects unless you actually think you can do them.
We're an exception.
Yeah.
We're an exception because we actually have.
We
pulled them
get
off.
stuff done sometimes.
That should be on the show.
We get stuff done sometimes.
Let's do a project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've actually been in a Skype group for a different project for 3 years now, and there's never been a single episode.
Oh.
Not one single episode ever. Because we just hear every couple months, we hear something else, an update in the group saying something came up with the director. Like, it could be that, oh, well, they're moving now, or they went back to school, or they lost track of something, or they had to recast some people. The only communications we ever hear from them are for delays. We have never gotten, we did get one script once. But we have never put out an episode. We turned in lines to a black void that we never heard back anything for them. And all we hear back is excuses why it's never happened. For 3 years.
God.
And you know what? We're fine. Nobody actually cares about it anymore, and it's just kind of funny at this
Oh,
point.
now you're just gonna lay
Yeah.
down. Okay.
But that is never
Congrats.
going to happen.
Yes. It is.
Oh.
Yeah, so we have Sebastian Fiero saying, I just got casted for a project that could last years, so I'm a little worried about that too.
Be very wary if the director or whoever's in charge just disappears for no apparent reason.
Yes, this is very true.
Yeah.
Shoplifting and in jail.
Yeah, or that.
Yeah, they could have been shoplifting and in jail.
So, you know, just, yeah.
But most importantly, just make sure that something happens. If
Yeah.
you're in a long project, make sure that they have something set for a first episode and that they have a plan for actually making sure it goes
I know.
through.
Yeah.
Oh, subscription box.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Just don't waste your time. If they're wasting yours,
Yeah,
think
then
I've
just
subscribed to
don't, because
myself.
there's so much other stuff out there that you could be doing,
yeah.
and that would actually get put out. So, you know. Womp, womp, womp.
If it's no skin off your back because they're not doing anything anyway, that's one thing. But
Why are
if
they
you're
singing
actively,
the Chowder theme song in the chat?
Are they?
Yeah.
That's a weird question.
What are they doing?
but
They're
if they're
singing the
wasting your
Chowder theme
time,
song.
just make sure you're not wasting your
Yeah. Because if you care about this, then just don't bother.
Okay, I guess I have to log into
Peter
a
can't
different
figure
account.
out mobile YouTube.
I can't because it's stupid. I
Our
need to log into a
esteemed
different account, I
producer.
guess.
Our leader, everyone, who can't get to our own live stream.
I can't do technology.
What are you
Help me.
doing?
He's trying to find the chat on
I'm
his
trying
phone.
to find
Oh
the
my
stream
God.
chat. Help me.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
Meanwhile,
And now back to
Fearless
Phil.
leader.
okay.
Appears in the background.
God.
Jesus.
Yes, yeah, moving it.
Oh my god, a ninja.
Moving it.
Lily, I'll tell the story later, I
What's
promise.
Don't break the illusion, Peter.
Alright, so we ready to move on? What's going on?
Yeah.
Are we ready to get some different faces in here? We have so many people to go through.
Yes, we
Yeah,
do.
get outta
Who wants to switch with
Alright,
Paco?
everyone say goodbye to RC. She's tagging out. We're going to bring
Bye,
more people
RC.
in.
Sorry,
It doesn't mean she
bye.
won't be back later, but
Yeah.
still.
Objection!
Objection.
Do you want to...
Peter's got to tap out eventually.
I
We'll
know.
tap Peter out later. We
I'll
can
do
still
it next.
roast him.
I'll tap out next.
Alright. So,
Peter never
ladies
leaves.
and gentlemen, we have the man, the myth, the legend,
guess
Parkus
I-
McSlam Jam.
Parkus McSlam Jam.
My name is Paco Slim, and I play
Thank you.
Franzadeus and Junpei, and once upon a time I played Allison. Once upon a time. Oh, and Meekins. I'm Meekins.
Meekins is
You're
in
Meekins?
jail.
Oh my god!
I'm never coming back! He's in jail.
He's in
That's
jail.
a fact.
Is he?
He's in jail.
He got
Who
arrested
determined
by
that?
Lang.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
reasons.
that's true, isn't it?
What?
I don't even know what's happening in my own damn series, guys.
Right?
Peter,
Sheesh.
our
Lily
leader.
says hello,
Everyone.
Paco.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh my god.
Hi, Lily.
Yeah, she won't say hi to you, I guess.
I guess not.
He's not Franz. He still has both arms.
Yeah, that's true.
Ah.
Hold
Okay.
up. Hold up. No. Here's my Amadeus cosplay.
Oh wait, no.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah, hold on.
Yep. There we go.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good, honestly.
There he is.
You look like you're about to drop a hot rap album.
Right?
Paco,
Or
when's your
about to
rap
go
album
rob a
coming out?
freaking grocery store.
Oh, I didn't want to announce it this early.
He has to rob a
January
grocery store
23rd,
and then go to
2018.
Ah, yes.
What's going on?
That is when the DVD of Ace Attorney dubbed comes out, everyone.
Oh, Lily says hello. Also,
Nissy the Spade says, "Hey Paco, what do you like about Franz?"
What do I like about Franz? He was a very he's a very smart guy. Easily swayed by how dumb he can be sometimes, but I like he's got his head in the right place most of the time. Most of the time. Except when he wants to eliminate the bourgeoisie and kill everybody. But
I
Hi,
mean,
Moo. Moo is in the chat. Hi, Moo.
huh?
Intelligence is not one of his traits.
yeah, no.
Intelligence,
not.
believe it or not.
Yeah.
Everyone
Irony.
get ready for the Octave finale also, because that
Oh,
is
yeah.
coming soon.
Everybody clap!
Everybody clap!
Cue the audio. Alright.
We're so sorry about anyone using headphones.
Right?
Alright.
Are we though?
A little.
Kind of.
Everybody say hi to Moo. Hi, Moo. Moo's in the
Hi,
chat.
Moo.
Moo.
Hi, what's up?
That was Ryan, if you heard that.
That was Ryan. He'll be in later.
Yep.
Alright. Paco,
Yeah.
what do you got for us?
What do you?
Yep.
What do I got?
Tell us a voice acting horror story.
Now this is a horror story about me being the horror.
Oh, is this?
yes.
This
Hold
is
on.
This is
Paco
okay.
is the
So
horror.
moonlighting.
Okay. So I once took a class. Well, not once. I was taking classes. You know what? Fuck it. I took 2 classes with Crispin Freeman. I'm gonna be specific.
Oh.
So in the first class, everything went fine, and then after I took 1 class with him, it was then decided I wanted. At a later time, I was like, I want to brush up on my stuff, and I decided to take a private coaching lesson with him. And nothing was feeling right, and I didn't know why it wasn't working. And then he started going over what I was doing wrong, and it was stuff we went over in the first class. So clearly something didn't stick with me. And I don't know if you've ever had someone with as cool voice as Crispin Freeman be disappointed with you, but it hurts real bad. It was something along the lines of, so did you just not think my class had worthwhile information? Did you decide you didn't need to pay attention to what I was saying in the first class? And it was bad. I felt like a real piece of shit. And I was. But after that, I've fixed my act together. So
He did it.
Yay.
now I'm not a horror.
Yay.
For now.
It
might-
only cost you an arm and a leg, right, Franz?
Yep.
two
Oh,
arms.
God.
Two arms.
Two
Ouch,
arms.
ouch, that needs an ice pack. says
Two
Quentin.
arms. Yeah.
Yes.
I would cry,
Not
Paco, from
Not fun.
Lily.
You have to tell your story about the Chinese accent guy at one point, too.
Maybe someday.
Maybe someday.
That's
Maybe
not
someday.
today.
Maybe someday.
Alright, who wants to switch out with me? I don't think I have
All right.
room anymore horror stories.
Peter's
Peter.
switching out.
Peter's leaving.
I might be back later. Yay! I'm switching out with
Goodbye,
Ryan, though, so
Peter.
it's for the better. Hey.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
Ryan, you were
I'm getting caught up in chair.
Oh god.
Don't trip.
Jesus.
As you come in,
Professionals.
as you come and sit, Ryan, one of our new people in chat told you to stop breaking screens as Edward.
What? Why? How am I breaking
Oh,
screens?
here
as
we go.
Edgeworth?
I don't know. That's what it said. I might be misquoting.
Fourth
I'm sorry.
wall?
Was the
Yes.
fourth wall?
Huh.
Is that
Oh,
what it was?
breaking the fourth wall.
Oh, okay. That makes a lot more sense.
There we go.
Absolutely
All right.
not. No, that's Edgeworth's thing.
Introduce yourself, right?
So here he is.
Mr. Edgeworth.
Hi.
The
It's
myth, the
Ryan.
legend.
Hello.
The man, the myth, the
Hi.
legend.
Ooh,
Alright,
Harry Potter
is
and the
that it?
Deathly Hallows.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, yes. Jesus, Ryan. Hi. I'm Ryan, also known as Actress Illusion, best known as Edgeworth and the prisoner from Presentable Liberty.
Nissy the Spade is very enthusiastic about
Yes.
your
Yep.
appearance.
The
He's
direct
very
quote is yes.
No,
You have a fan?
Yep.
You have a fan,
You have a
right?
fan.
Wait
If
for
you have
the-
anything you'd like to ask him, now's the time.
Yes.
It is
yes.
Q&A as well.
Yeah, let's keep that in mind.
Oh,
It
dear
is
God.
Q&A, so
Oh,
if you
Lily
have questions,
says
ask
hello.
them.
Oh my God, Lily.
Even if it's just where's Ace Attorney, you can ask her.
Don't ask where's Ace Attorney.
I can't answer that. Peter, when
Yeah.
am I going to get more episodes?
Hey Peter, when am I going to show up in Ace Attorney?
When's Meekin's getting out of jail?
God damn it, guys!
It's been
When is
4
the-
years, Peter.
When is the next appearance of Paco the policeman?
Si, senor.
God.
All
Alright, so Ryan, you've been in this a lot longer than most of us.
Yeah, I am almost 30, and still gone nowhere with my career.
And
At 30, we break out the cane.
what horror stories do you have for us?
Oh God, what horror stories don't I have?
I don't know.
Okay, well, similar to what Paco was just telling, there's at least one horror story that is what
Did
it's
you
not
pay to
exactly.
get yelled at by Crispin Freeman?
No, it's not like Paco.
It was hard.
Paco.
It was hard.
My heart goes out to you.
It was hard.
No, it's a horror story that is a horror story only because of my own fault. So, I was in a visual novel. It was a yaoi visual novel. There was R-rated material. Shut up! It paid well, and it was fun. So I, at one point, they were going through final checks, and I was listening to the voice acting for one of the characters, and they didn't like it, and
Oh, Korea.
I'm not.
knows what you're talking about.
I'll mention that in a bit, Lawrence. I'll
Lawrence.
mention that in a bit. And I was listening to this character, and it was bad. And I basically told the creators, listen, you're probably not going to pay me extra for this. I don't care. I'm going to record this character for you because I will not let this stand. So in 2 days, I spent about 2.5 to 3 hours each night just doing this character who is pitched to the very basement of my voice. Just nearly going hoarse in the process, but I got it done. It didn't sound like the other main character I was voicing for the most part, and it sounded a whole heck of a lot better. Also, because they hired Minor to play the protagonist, they had to have someone else dub the sex noises, so there's at least 2 sex scenes in the game where I'm basically screwing myself, voice-wise.
Screw yourself.
Pro tip for any minors out there, don't audition for like 18+ projects because that puts everyone in an awkward situation.
And it's illegal.
Good news.
Yeah.
Yeah, very illegal.
Don't do it.
Everybody involved in Kindred Spirits is now 18 plus.
Phil!
Okay, Quentin B. Norris has a question.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I don't know who it's
was the most
going
comedic?
towards, but I'll just say it's everybody. What was the most comedic off session for a character you did?
Off session.
Off session.
Yeah. Also, we have another question for Ryan in a sec.
Yeah.
When I rapped as Leo. That was cool.
And then when I gave a rebuttal as Hakuno, that was good. That was a good time.
Let's see.
Oh God, I can't camera.
Oh my God.
Ash, please.
I'm trying.
Ash,
Oh
please.
God.
Ash, please.
Sorry, everyone.
Please.
Whoa.
Ash, please.
Technical difficulties back.
Yeah, like it got a little wonky for a minute. I was trying to adjust it.
Good job, Chula.
Yay,
Congratulations!
Chula.
Chula! She perfected something.
She
in
got it
Project
perfect.
Diva.
She got it
Project
perfect.
Diva's hard.
Project Diva.
Project Diva's hard.
Okay.
Play Wonderwall.
Back to the question.
Oh, Lawrence.
God,
Sorry, everyone. That camera was weird for a minute there.
there's a lot of times. Like it's a rule of mine that I use no major swears as Edgeworth, but there's plenty of times where outside of like actual recording, I will just swear out of like crazy Edgeworth's voice just because it's so funny.
You have not lived until you heard Edgeworth swearing, apparently.
Do it now.
Do you want to do anything for the people watching?
Do
Okay.
a swearing Edgeworth impression.
Oh God.
Like pretend I'm like screwing up with the evidence and you're getting pissed off or something.
Let's see. Let me get into my Edgeworth voice here.
Directing.
Now let's see. Jesus cunt-kissing Christ, Peter, will you just present the goddamn fucking evidence right now before I have to kick you in the nuts?
Edgeworth, I'm sorry. I can't do this.
LDPodcast.
Thank you.
Recording is stressful.
Please put clap emojis in the chat.
Yeah, we.
All of the clap emojis.
Okay. So Edgeworth, what do you think about his case in the DLC?
Which DLC? Oh, the
Wait,
the
Spirit
of Justice. I haven't actually played the DLC case yet.
Oh, me neither, actually.
Me neither.
Has anyone actually played the DLC case for that?
I actually haven't even played that.
I don't know if I.
We don't know what we're doing.
We have no fucking.
I don't
I
even
know Larry Butts
know
is in it. That's
if
all I know.
I bought
that
the DLC
makes it
case,
worth it.
honestly.
Right?
But then again, I have so many games that behind it.
Me too. Oh.
Oh, what's happening?
Food!
Pizza.
Food's
Food.
Some
happening.
gluten-free pizza has arrived.
Everybody clap for pizza, yay!
Specifically.
It's all for Paco.
It's all for Paco.
All for
All for
Paco.
Paco.
Pick it up and smile.
Actually, I guess I do have another horror story.
We also have another
We
question.
also have another question. You want to do the horror story or the question first?
Question.
We'll do the
Okay.
question.
If Ace Attorney characters were in the Holy Grail War, what servants would they have?
Okay,
Good one.
there are a lot of servants.
They'd all be casters. The end.
Thank you, Paco.
Yes.
Or would they all be Florida Man?
You know the end.
They'd all be Florida Man.
That's a strong one. That's strong. Real strong. But I don't know.
Florida Man, best berserker.
Oh, of course. Florida
Yes.
Florida, yeah. You heard
Florida
it.
man.
Future Phoenix, right?
Okay, as Edgeworth, what do you think?
What's your professional opinion?
Well, I don't
What is
know.
your
I don't know enough about Fate, but I would imagine he'd have some sort of caster type servant.
RC, what do you think?
For who?
For Edgeworth.
For Edgeworth?
Yeah. Maybe.
Edgeworth
I
reminds
would
me
just like
a
to
lot.
point out that Sherlock Holmes is a servant, and
That's true.
it's hilarious.
Oh,
There we
that's
go.
true.
There we go.
Sherlock Holmes?
Edgeworth would have Sherlock Holmes.
Mystery solved.
Mystery
Yeah,
solved.
perfect.
But so is Moriarty, and that might be more your style.
That's also true.
Yes, but Edgeworth is mostly heroic, and Moriarty is an asshole.
All right.
Lily says, "Can I have Nero?"
No.
Okay, so
Damn.
You've been told.
Flat out rejected.
this is a very short story, not really a voice acting horror story, but it's something that happened earlier today, and I
Oh,
felt
no.
really bad about it.
Oh,
no.
So,
Phil, what did you
Jesus.
do?
so we were
What
at
did you do, Phil?
we're at Five Guys Burgers and Fries. And
Oh.
I look over and I see Paco is eating his burger, and he instead of buds he has
Oh my
lettuce.
God.
I was like, I said to him like super like, Paco, why are you eating that weird ass burger with lettuce? And he was like, I can't eat gluten. I was
Fun
just like,
fact
oh
about Paco.
fuck.
Fun fact.
That's why he has his own pizza.
I completely
Bread's poison to me.
I completely forgot Paco can't eat bread.
You are missing out.
It's a gluten-free pizza. Gluten-free. This is some fake-ass bread.
Yeah.
All for him.
But it's all for him.
Yeah.
Question: have you guys ever heard of man on the internet?
That is so
What?
vague. I
What?
don't
don't
know.
I'm a man on the
I would
internet.
like there would like some clarification, please. Have you guys ever heard of man on the internet?
What
What is
man
man
on the internet? There are many men's on the internet.
He's a man and he's on the internet.
While we're waiting for clarification,
Do you have another horror story?
yeah, I have another horror story.
Please.
Go horse.
Well, first of all, here's the thing. Be careful joining any fan audio production. Just throwing that out there. Be careful. About 75% of them are going to be really bad. But I was in this fan project. It was for Attack on Titan, and I'm not just for the sake of, not embarrassing anyone publicly, I'm not going to name it. What I will say is that the artwork was terrible, the writing was bad, and the director had no idea what they were doing. Like, there were scenes during episodes where it would go from one scene to another and events would have happened off camera that were supposed to be very important, but for some reason we didn't see them. And finally, all of us just got absolutely fed up because not only was the writing terrible and even the audio mixing terrible, the director was not particularly receptive to criticism and would throw basically a temper tantrum whenever it was brought up. So I finally just ended up leading an exodus out of there because it was just like, the thing is, like, sometimes directors are going to be a little bit crazy because, like, I've directed small-time community theater before, and we're having to, wrangle upwards of 5, 10, however many people to get a show going. And especially when dealing with non-professional people, you're oftentimes having to deal with people who are doing this as a hobby, and so can be a little unreliable. We've all done it. We've all done it.
Yeah.
But there's a difference between a director being intense and a director who just doesn't know what they're doing and is throwing a temper tantrum every time you point it out. So if you're ever in any kind of project, if the director is just being a complete dimwit, don't be afraid to, call them out on it a little bit. And if the vibe in the project, especially if it's fan projects are more about making connections with people who will benefit you later and will be awesome friends, then, fan projects are cool and all, but you can't really put them on your credits. But just if the vibe begins to become emotionally draining or, dare I say, abusive, get out of here. Just get out.
Don't do that to yourself.
So we have a question from the chat. Sebastian asks, I swear I can talk for a living. Would you guys recommend any other sources besides Casting Call Club for finding cool projects?
Many other sources.
Voice Acting Club.
Voice Acting Club.
Voice Acting Club.
Oh, and also hello to Genderless Child.
Hello.
Yeah, hey. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
So Voice Acting Club, which is the forum.
Yeah.
I guess Kira Buckland's one of the moderators.
Yeah, Kira Buckland.
Yep.
And then those are
Besides,
the only two. The BTVA is kind of like
find the voice actors is always a crush.
it's kind of reducing.
Twitter. Just follow Twitter.
Yeah. Follow.
Developers.
Follow game developers on Twitter, especially like visual novel game developers, indie developers.
Yeah.
They're always posting stuff that's like, "Hey, I'm gonna start development on whatever."
Any voice actors want to hit me up?
And sometimes you can even follow voice actors, because voice actors are really good, usually really good about
Well,
retweeting stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
Come
This
say it.
is
Come do a
actually a
thing.
big deal because
Here.
this is how I've gotten a lot of
Say who are you? Say who you are real fast.
Hey, I am Chula. I voice Elise in An Octave Higher. I'm Maki in Kindred Spirits, and quite a few. Like Aoi. I'm the third and final Aoi in Danganronpa.
The third and
final.
The final one.
Final owie. How ominous. Okay, good.
Personally, how I've gotten some of my best gigs is actually by being a fan of something. So if you say something, say there's a dev who constantly updates about their cool game idea they've done, and they show work, but they don't have voice acting yet. Be a fan of that. Comment. Make your presence known. And email offer to do things, but if you show that you are actually passionate about something and that you enjoy it, they're far more receptive to your offers than just other voice actors. Yes. They like people who like their stuff. That has been a really big help for me in particular. I don't know if there's other people who do it like that, but I think it's the most reliable way to get into good projects.
We'll bring Chula back on later.
Chula, say your name one more time.
Chula!
Chula Cabra.
Hi, Chula King!
So,
All right, so
Bye,
we have
Chula.
one more question real fast.
Oh,
I'm gonna switch to Peter for.
Oh.
You guys ever think about dubbing something like Dust in Elysian Tale?
I mean, that already has a pretty
the game
good...
has an English dub already.
It has an
It
English
kind of
dub.
does.
It's
I
pretty
mean,
good,
to be
from what I've
honest,
heard.
we probably won't
That's
end up doing that,
dramatic.
but I like the game and I think it's awesome. And I played it all the way through before. I enjoy it.
All right.
It's fun. I recommend it.
So
Alright.
talking about that reminded me. First, Reddit, our voice acting. That's not a bad place to look if you're looking
Really?
for extra. Yeah, I've seen some stuff on there. It's not bad.
Huh.
Like there's a lot of like advice on there and stuff. You can talk to other voice actors, but reminded me of a project that I showed Mason.
Oh, are we doing this story now?
I found it on
We're doing this story
the
now.
voice
Okay.
acting subreddit.
Okay, so this was like last summer.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Last summer, Phil came to me and was like, "Hey, Maisily, there's somebody looking to there's somebody looking to make original Yuri hentai. You should totally like send this guy stuff and see if you get it." And I was like, because I didn't think it would go anywhere, and I was like, okay, sure, this will be fun for some laughs, because also I don't really do stuff like that. So I sent the guy stuff. He got back to me really quickly, and he was like, "Hey, yeah, wow, I really like all this." He set up a Discord server with a bunch of other people. He like sent out audition things, and he was like, "Yeah, if you want to try these characters, go ahead." And I was like, "Okay." This is happening now. This is entirely my own fault, however. So, I sent auditions in. There were like quite a few other people who were interested. And then like a few weeks later, when they were done casting, he was like, "Congrats, you got the part in this." And I was like, "Oh boy, that's what I want." But they still held open auditions for like the other character because they didn't like anyone they had found. And eventually they used one of the artists who was on board. Anyway, so that happens. He sets up a Twitter for like the entire studio project. I don't know what it ever actually was.
You used a pseudonym, right?
And he found my Twitter. I didn't give him this. I didn't give him any of like my social media links. He found my Twitter, which at that point I wasn't really using and it wasn't connected to any voice acting stuff. He found my Twitter and put out that I was going to be in this, and I was like, okay, yeah, that's linked to that now. And it's also public there, so one, I got a few followers from that, which they know. But anyway, he got a lot of people on board for that. He got some really decent background artists, everything. He set up a Patreon. Everything was in the works for this to be going, and then he disappeared. Completely, like a year ago about, or like at the beginning of this year, and none of us have heard anything since. So, I don't think that's happening.
It was great.
Fingers crossed.
It was great for
Right.
me because I would just message Major like every 3 months, like, "Hey, how's the Yuri Headset going?"
God.
Okay, we have a question for Mazer from Quentin. This question is for Mazer. Who would you do a dramatic ad-lib with and why?
A dramatic one.
And there's another question, yeah, Nissy, we're getting there, that you guys can think of, or I'll ask you real fast what you think of for a second. Epic rap battles of YouTubers, anyone familiar with it? The Michaela Laws thing.
Say it again?
I mean, I'm familiar
Yeah,
with who
I'm familiar
she
with
is.
it, yeah. It's epic rap battles of YouTubers, anyone familiar with it?
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, I think like PM
Yeah.
Seymour's doing it, like Todd
Yeah.
Sebastian, or Sebastian Todd,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
Sorry, Sebastian Todd.
Oh,
I
but
said
to
your name
add on
backwards.
to the Yuri thing,
Yeah.
actually, apparently the Discord link for, like, it ended up being public somewhere. So one day, I'm just, like, at home, and suddenly I see notifications on Discord because some random guy who was looking for, like, a place to talk about Yuri with people, I guess, found the Discord link, and he was like, wow, what the hell is this? And then somebody else was like, I don't know, the director he disappeared. We don't know what happened.
Guy, if you're still looking for one, Dynasty Scans has an open Discord. You can go there.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so Mazer, for your question, your
Dramatic? Dramatic. Like, for anything?
All it says is who would you pick for your dramatic ad lib, unless they're able to clarify.
Well,
Like,
dramatic
with-
ad lib and why?
And why?
Like, who
I
would you do
mean,
dramatic ad lib?
do like dramatic ad libs with anyone because we could just bounce ideas off each other. Like you can do whatever if you.
Mazer doesn't want to name anyone.
Rephrased. Who would you like to do an overly dramatic ad lib with?
Oh,
There we go,
overly
perfect.
dramatic.
And why?
My first instinct is Ryan.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yes.
Second
Okay.
instinct. Who else is overly dramatic?
Dan.
Which Dan?
All of them.
All of them.
All of the Dans. I do.
At the same time.
Dan actually.
All of the Dans at the same time.
You pointed at me.
Dan and the Dans.
Yeah.
Dan.
We'll have Dan and the Dans performing later. No, we
No,
won't.
please.
Yes. Dan, you gotta sing. Sing for me, Music Man.
We could have an entire cast of Danganronpa.
Peter.
Made me miss a note.
I'm glad I could ruin everybody's night again.
Paco, do you have anything else?
I do. I was thinking I did have another story. Because everyone is nice, I'm going to preface it by saying everyone involved in this project was extremely nice and professional. Okay, so
Oh boy.
there was a period of time in which I auditioned things without doing any background research ahead of time. Don't do that. The reason why, I was getting down on myself for not getting projects. I'm like, I want to get the protagonist in something. So I looked up a project, I saw something, I looked through the characters, I'm like, oh, this looks kind of like a Skyrim type of thing, I'll audition for this.
Uh-oh.
And I auditioned for the main character and I got it. And I was like, oh, yes, awesome, this is great, it's so cool. Some time passes, I start reading it for a couple episodes. 3 or so episodes in, I start getting some weird dialogue. And eventually, I went a little ahead. I had auditioned for a softcore furry porn and was unaware. Now, everyone on board was super nice and professional. I just would have liked to have known that ahead of time, so I eventually left the project because I wasn't comfortable doing that. But that is another story. Yeah, it was a time. It was a time.
You reminded me of something, Paco.
The life lesson is do your background research.
Do your background research.
Learn what it is they're doing a dub for.
Yes, and if they're not being upfront about it,
maybe don't do it.
Maybe don't do it.
Don't
But
audition for furry porn. There you
don't
go.
audition for furry porn.
Unless they pay you.
They pay really well.
Yeah,
furries pay.
Furries pay
but
really well.
If you are ever doing anything that is just straight up porn, like 75% porn, use a pseudonym.
Hold up the objection. Hold up the objection.
Use a
It's
pseudonym.
for you.
Like
Right
for
at the bottom.
there's a couple of VNs I've done that are gay themed with adult scenes, but since they're like one and it's essentially like an R-rated movie, I do use my real name because I mean it's decent character work. But if it's like if it's basically it's just 100% porn, just use a pseudonym.
There were people that did that for our Sayano Uta dub, and I can't blame them.
Yeah, Sayano Uta was that was a thing.
That was true.
I remember hearing something once.
Hey, that dub still holds up. I watched an
it's
episode
really
or
good
two
dub.
of it the other day, and I was impressed. Just have to say.
Quick little thing. I was looking at the visual novels subreddit, and I looked up Let's Dub because I wanted to see if people were talking about it. I found this thread about Sayano Uta, and I sent it to Peter, and I was like, oh man, it's really cool that people are talking about it. Peter was like, oh, Meredith wrote that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a thing.
So somehow the baby went and wrote about the porn thing we did.
I thought it was really cool that people were talking about this in public, but no, it was just Meredith.
It's just Meredith.
It's just Meredith.
But yeah, Skyrim. You reminded me of another horror story.
Here we go.
Wait, can I add on one more thing to the Yuri hentai thing?
Please do.
Okay, so because it was a Discord server for the Yuri hentai project, one of the other people who was interested in being an actress for this saw that I had been cast as the other character, and so she messaged me completely out of the blue, like, "Hey, can I hear what you did for this, etc., etc." And I was like, I mean, sure, if you are auditioning for the other character and you want to have stuff to bounce off of, go ahead. It was a really awkward conversation that, long story short, she was like, that sounded really hot. And I was like, okay, I don't know how to take that, so I'm not gonna.
Did she ask you to mail her a lot of your hair?
No.
I'm gonna pop off so someone else can join.
Enjoy your pizza,
Say
Paco.
goodbye, Paco.
Bye.
Say goodbye,
Bye.
Pizza.
All right.
So long.
Hey.
Alright, who wants to come in?
We should get Chula on next.
Chula.
Yes.
Yes, we must get Chula on that way.
Oh my god. Squeeze my way.
Get my bestie on. Well, one of my besties.
Hello.
Over here.
Over there.
Over there.
Over here.
You have to be on camera.
Chair.
Over here.
Good luck.
Chula.
Sneak
Chula.
What are you doing?
She's like a crab.
Going the.
She's crabbing the hard way.
Please.
There we go.
Okay.
All right.
Oh shoot, I can see.
You can see.
Whoa, hello.
Fight.
Yes, I already introduced myself earlier. I am Kyan Shula King. I play Elise, Maki, Aoi, and
You also
I've
play
done.
Nena. I don't know why you never mentioned that. You play Maki and Nena.
Oh yeah, Nena. What? Well, Nena is a smaller role, I suppose, so it's not usually the first one I come to mind. But Nena was the character I think I wanted the most because she's fun.
I don't interpret that.
We don't have that Dan with us here.
Or that Dan is not here, unfortunately.
Oh, goodbye,
I did
Dan.
ask him to come, though. He just didn't have the money or the
Yeah.
time. So.
Wait, which one?
I don't know. Figure that out.
Oh, I know.
Too
Fight to
many.
the death to determine who's the coolest Dan.
There's only 2 here today, right?
Yeah.
For all we know.
What if there's
You
another?
will be
What if
the
there's a
ultimate
secret
Dan.
Dan?
Oh my god, a secret Dan? Like
Secret
the one
Dan.
hiding in the curtains back there?
All right.
What you got?
So, Chula, what horror stories do you have for us?
Well, my favorite one is after I mentioned this earlier. Actually, someone said that Jello talked about it in one of his tip of the tongue episodes. I admittedly don't watch them because they're too long. But
I'm telling Jello you said that.
he knows. I'm sure he knows. I don't even finish half of our tabletop stuff that we do. I tried to watch Ebon Ward. I can't. But there was this guy that I'm gonna go ahead and do the vague blogging thing and not mention a name, and he had an insane knack for finding amazing people, like really good voice actors, amazing animators. Like the animations that I had seen for concepts were absolutely like jaw-dropping. Good writers and all of that. But then the director himself was an absolute idiot. Okay, so after having all of these great people, he didn't really know what he wanted to do with the project. He changed the name, he changed the concepts multiple times. He threw in one character because, alright, so the director asked Jello, hey, what's your favorite blah blah blah? And Jello says, oh, this one. So he says, okay, I'm gonna make a character based on that just for you. No direction, nothing, just decided to do that. It was ridiculous. And described the character that I was playing at the time, as an A-cup personality. When talking to the animators on how to draw a walk cycle for this character, he said, an A-cup personality. An A-cup personality. None of us knew what it meant. None of us knew what it... that one's my favorite one, I think. I've got plenty of others, I suppose, but they're not quite as interesting as A-cup personality.
Nope. A-cup personality.
A-cup personality.
A-cup personality.
Fuck!
Okay, Ryan, what do you think A-cup personality means? Please.
Oh god. Expert opinion.
What do you think?
Expert opinion.
You're an expert.
Well, in my educated opinion, I believe that according to general anime tropes, an A-cup personality would most likely be a somewhat skinny girl of a young age or appearing to be a young age, certainly young at heart if an adult, with a generally cheerful disposition, verging on peppy, probably a relatively high-pitched voice, and definitely energetic. So that is certainly what I would imagine would be an A-cup personality. Naive, optimistic, very fun to be around, but without enough moderation, very similar to sugar, in that it just becomes too much after a while. Just bloody too much.
Yep, that's very close to the character. You missed the spunk, I think.
Yeah.
There was a little bit of growl in her voice, but not a whole lot. But
because only girls with flat chests have that, I guess, in anime. So.
All of the spunk is contained in the chest.
So I guess the less boobs you have, the easier it is to let it all out. Yep, that's how that works. That's how that works.
Let's dub project. Oh my god.
Oh.
So let's dub A-cup personality project.
Someone change the group chat.
I've got another one. A long time ago, I had
A-cup personality?
Yeah. We're going to go through all of them.
All of them.
Alright, so, a long time ago, back when YouTube had proper, like, private messaging systems.
Oh.
Somebody scouted me. They decided, they had commented on a couple of my videos, just random here and there, sprinkles, and then they messaged me and say, hey, so I really like your voice, and you have a really good quality and a good microphone. I was wondering if you wanted the honor to be a part of the first American furry anime. And it was rephrased exactly like that. The first American furry anime.
Honor.
And a part of me was like, you know, furries do pay well.
They do. Furries pay well.
But at the same time, this guy was also saying, oh, it's going to be on Cartoon Network. And it's an American furry anime. And I just... All right, and he followed it up. He followed up by putting in his email, which is kind of the usual, his phone number, and his home address.
Hey, come to my house and record this.
Warning signs.
It'll be the first Western furry anime.
Oh my god.
I saved the image. I still have the screenshotted image on my computer.
Oh.
I blacked out the phone number and address, but I send it to people every time when I want a good laugh.
That's
Wow.
I bet you want to come and record real nice at my house.
Thank you, Ryan.
That is probably the worst thing that's gonna happen.
He lives in Texas.
You'll have a
He's somewhere here.
He lives in Texas, but I can't remember what town. It wasn't Austin, it wasn't Dallas, just somewhere in Texas.
That's so ominous.
Something Otto wants me to talk about. I don't know if I should.
And it was so long ago.
Come to my house and I'll explain my plan.
Come pet my fursuit!
There's something Otto wanted me to talk about. I don't know if I should.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh.
Do it,
I
Phil.
can
Oh,
totally
let's
do
do
it.
it.
I don't know if
Do
I
it.
will. I don't know if I will
Come on,
because I
Phil.
feel like I might be offending the guy behind it.
You mentioned it on stream. Now you got to do it.
Alright, like let's go back like a year, I guess. Was probably
Okay.
Actually, probably kind of like January of this year. I think.
Oh, nice.
This guy, I think he was like he's like 16. This guy wanted to make a Danganronpa fighting movie.
Oh, I know this.
I auditioned for it where it was like a joke because I thought the idea was hilarious, even though I knew it wasn't gonna go anywhere. God, and like he made like 2 attempts to bring it back, but like all the that project was so fucking annoying because nobody actually gave a shit about it. Even all the people who weren't voice actors and were supposedly working on it just kept memeing in the chats and not actually doing anything.
Did that guy ever like finish casting anything?
I don't know. I know I got 2 roles. Otto got 4.
Damn.
So,
Okay, not that you and Otto aren't talented, but giving single actors that, and this was main characters, right? 4 and 2 main characters.
Well, yeah, but I feel like I don't have much room to talk on that because 16 characters in Kindred Spirits. There are 12 voice actors.
Well, yeah, but you only double cast, right?
Yeah.
We did
Only quadruple cast.
No, we didn't do that.
Yeah, quadruple casting is usually a
That,
thing.
it's funny.
Oh, I have a story about that.
So, when we were casting for Kindred Spirits, we had to
why?
we had to reconsider our choice for Megumi because we were like, all right, Chula will be Megumi, but then we were like, wait, Chula has to be Maki and Nena.
I would like to say the Kindred Spirits casting was a mess because Phil went to go play League while we were trying to do it.
You said it would be fine!
I didn't say that!
Yes, you did!
No, I didn't!
Alright, objection, Your Honor. I said it would...
Objection, no you didn't.
You said...
We were so close to being done.
No, we were not!
Yes, we were! We put that off for a week!
Is there
but
an overruled zone?
No!
Unfortunate.
I call bullshit.
I call bullshit on...
Here as the judge.
Of what, bullshit?
Yes.
Well, the problem is that the beard doesn't have the very best memory, so I don't know if I can take a side.
Okay.
Objection, Peter's not being helpful.
Damn it, Peter.
What else is new?
God. Okay, let me think. I do have one horror story that James knows about. So, I think this was in 2015. Why did you... Peter!
Because they're in the group, that's why.
Oh my
dang
god.
it.
Okay.
They're in the group.
It's like, damn, we have
Okay,
a lot of admin.
so, I think it was summer of 2015. James had found a casting call for a support dub, like a full-on dub of all the supports in Fire Emblem Awakening.
I was in that!
Good job.
I think it was... Who did you get cast as?
I was, I wanted to be Noe, but I ended up being, Tiki and,
I don't remember him adding you to the group.
I was...
Wait, there were 2. James found 2 of them that year.
Oh, it might have been
one.
the other one that I was in then, yeah.
I'm Anna for that.
Yeah, that's the one.
God.
I was Tiki
Okay,
and
yes.
I think Amarin. Of all
That's
the
a
characters,
different-
I was Amarin.
So,
Because they cast all like 100-something characters in advance.
yeah, okay. So this one, I think this one was before. James found it, and James went into our big chat, and he was like, hey, guys, this guy has a lot of subscribers, and he's doing this. We should all audition, and we should totally, like, do this, get publicity out for Let's Dub. And I like Fire Emblem, and I was like, okay, yeah, sure, let's do this. So, there were, like, so many auditions. It was packed on the BTVA page. And what the guy ended up doing is, I think out of Let's Dub, it was James, me, Jane, and Adox who got cast. James got 2 characters. I got 3. Jane got 1. Thank you, Gwen.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're so cute.
That's a good look for you.
Hell yeah. And then Adox got like 5 characters? 5 characters.
Yeah, sounds like
Okay.
Adox.
5 characters. So, anyway,
It's a cast.
it was a lot of characters, and I feel really bad for Adox. But anyway, so this guy, he adds us all to the Skype group, and slowly as things go on, we learn more and more about him than we wish we had. Such as, most of his content and most of his subscribers were bronies. So, that was the first thing where I was like, James, why didn't you mention that to us before we auditioned? So, there was that. There was also the fact that a lot of the people he cast were fans of his.
Huh.
Because that's what a lot of the auditions were.
Huh.
Then he posts like a cast announcement video where he's showing off all of us, and then months go by. He does have editors working on this. 5 editors. He pays all of them. I don't know how many episodes actually got released, but it was an absolute train wreck because as things progress, the chat gets more and more ridiculous. I left. James left. I'm pretty sure Jane and Adox also left a long time ago because it was bad. James has horror story. James has flashbacks about that.
He's having him in the chat right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Oh, yep.
Yeah. See? So there's that. And that Can you see anything?
Oh, so that's the guy.
Yeah, that's the guy.
Oh.
That's the guy.
Okay.
Um
Now I know.
But there's also the fact that he set a deadline for everything in November, I think, and I think maybe James, Jane, and I, and a few others got all of our lines in by then. Nobody else did. Like, not everyone was done by, like, April next year. So there's also that. And again, 5 editors. He's put out maybe, like, 10 episodes of the entire thing. Yeah. It was not a good experience, and I think that's the most I've ever seen Adox get mad at somebody, actually.
Wait, Adox got mad at somebody?
She got really pissed in that chat.
Holy shit.
She went off on somebody.
That's something.
A question from the chat. How many of you have glasses?
Come on.
I
Oh my god.
No, it's actually accurate to ask how many of us do not.
I think
right now, I'm going to do a quick turn of the entire room. You guys ready?
Who wants to see everyone else?
We have about a 41
I'm
ratio.
blind.
I mean, we can go
I'm
stand next
blind.
to Ryan.
I brought contacts if you want some more variety.
Everyone please observe the hat party.
Eyes up.
Hat party.
Eyes up.
Eyes
Okay.
up.
Party.
Where's Tyler?
Hey.
Tyler!
I think he's in the restroom.
Hey.
Oh, bye,
Get out
Tyler.
of the
There's
restaurant.
so many hats right now.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
I love that.
Where's Gwen? Gwen, get in there. I can't see. Gwen and Dan, get in there. Woo!
All right,
Hey.
all right.
So,
all
like,
right, you
3
guys.
people here don't have glasses, basically.
I've got some extra pairs.
I got
Yeah,
Do you have glasses?
it's me, Ryan, and Dan.
Yeah,
Yep.
pretty
And
much.
only one of the Dans.
And Tyler.
Yep.
Or Tyler wears glasses.
Oh, I'm sorry, James. You got 3 characters in that.
Okay, actually, I have one more story, and then I'll pop off. One more related to, actually, Danganronpa and James.
Don't look at me right now.
Uh-oh.
I'm pretty
Secret.
I'm
putting
pretty
on
sure.
contacts,
I'm pretty
and
sure
that's
it's
not
related
fun
to
to look at.
James. I'm pretty sure it's related to James. I think he mentioned it at some point. So it's like 2 years ago. So it's not as embarrassing as it could have been. I auditioned for like this like Danganronpa fandom, like whatever. You know, those are all over the map.
Yep.
Like, I didn't really think much.
Oh.
I didn't really think much of it because I was new to the voice acting scene at the time, and so like I didn't really understand the horrors of these things.
I appreciate this comment.
And so I auditioned for it. I get like the main character.
Oh, I guess that's what we're doing
So,
next.
yeah, that's nice. But then I play Naegi, and then like on the day, like the director is supposed to start giving out stuff. She's like, I learned that what her actual plan was for everybody to hop into a Google chat room and do the dub live.
Oh.
And I don't remember that being mentioned at all until it happened. And then half of the people in the chat, including me, were like, "All right, this is stupid. Bye."
I really want the camera to see Tyler right now. I really want the camera to see Tyler right now.
Was Tyler in this?
Tyler,
He's not in that.
no, Tyler,
I'm
come
pretty
here.
sure James mentioned it at some point. I'm pretty sure he was involved.
Oh, dear God. That sounds
Oh, we have more food.
Nourish.
More food.
Well, I need to start.
More food.
Pizza! Yay!
Hey, pizza.
Hi, pizza guy!
Hi,
Hey!
pizza.
Wednesday's the journey.
God
Oh.
Say hi.
Who is most like their character?
Oh,
Out
who's
of-
most like their character?
Out of like
what
all of us here?
series?
Out of
I don't
or just
have
out
a
of
character,
everyone?
so I'm gonna say me.
Oh. Who is most like their character?
God, I am so not Edgeworth in real life.
I mean, much like Hawkno, I'm also always confused about what's going on around me.
Out of the characters I've played, I'm probably most like Maki, actually.
I don't know. I could say I'm like all my characters, but that's a cop out.
Really, the only character that
It
I'm
looks something to
I'm
perch
like
the
is the
webcam
prisoner
on.
from Prison of Liberty, and that was just basically because I was playing myself trapped in a room.
Well, that's the easiest way to do it.
Yeah.
I cleared off the main table. The kitchen.
Although-
Such an interesting way to go about that.
I mean, it came out really well.
Yeah, that was a
Yeah,
fun
no.
one.
I
Go
haven't
watch
watched the
Presentable
whole thing.
Liberty.
Go watch,
Presentable
go watch
Liberty.
Presentable Liberty. It's 1.5 hours of me losing my mind.
I've seen
But it was
clips from
great,
it, but I
though.
didn't watch the whole
It's
thing.
very good.
You need to
The
watch it.
clips that I saw were like.
Watch Ryan go crazy.
That was like one of the first ones I watched.
Okay, we have a request because we can move on. We want to see the dance.
Dance.
Dan,
Are we
Dan,
pushing
it too out to
Dan,
the
Dan,
dance?
Dan,
I'm a Dan now.
No, they want to see the dance.
I wanna see the dance.
I'm a Dan. Oh, I gotcha.
Okay, dance, dance, dance. Here they come.
From the dance.
Here comes the dance.
One Dan. Other Dan.
Other Dan. where's
Other Dan.
Come here, other Dan.
I'm
Dang
sorry.
it, that's Phil.
All
That's
of
not
my
Dan.
stuff is on the table.
Majorly.
What?
Put the dams next to each other? Or?
Yeah, we can
Yes.
put the Dans next to each other.
Okay.
Go.
Special. I get the host seat.
Dance, dance.
What's good, fans?
Dan.
Dance.
Fans of dance. Yeah, Dan's fans.
My people.
Asking me to dance.
We're not asking
I mean,
not
do you
to.
want to dance?
Where Dan's dance like it's the last.
I'm definitely not.
All right,
gonna do that.
so-
we have a question real fast though. You guys
The
introduce
dirty
yourselves.
Dans.
You introduce yourselves, but also Lord Beerus appears at your doorstep and demands a meal. If he doesn't like it, he'll destroy the earth. What do you feed him? So keep that in mind, then introduce yourself.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Which Dan wants to go first?
He said go ahead, so I guess that means he's good. I am Dan Pete, aka Lucidity. I am Uru in Let's Fix Chaos Wars, and that's about it so far.
What else are you
I'm
doing?
also dubbing Sound of Drop with Libadoodle, or Liberty Moffat, who is also here, but
She's
will
somewhere.
maybe be joining later. Who knows? And I guess we've still got some pumpkin cookie butter ice cream, right?
Do we?
No, like,
Oh.
yeah, I'd probably go with that because that's the only sweet thing we've got. I don't know. Oh yeah, he loves ramen, so maybe some bomb-ass croquettes.
Oh, James has a request for one of you guys.
What?
Oh god.
Which one of you is the real Dirty Dan?
Well,
That's the
there is
question.
that.
Also,
Can I just say, El Sai Kongru? That's
Thank
all.
you.
You're welcome.
You're a pretty kitty. Tyler.
Oh,
You're welcome.
James, I could actually use your opinion on this. Do I look like Daru from Steins Gate?
Oh my god.
So the question posted for James one more time. Let's get a visual of you.
Do I look like Daru from Steins Gate?
Opinions.
Vote now on your
Alright,
phone.
other Dan.
You look way cooler than
Dan
Daru.
too.
Okay, other Dans.
Oh, Dan 2? Okay.
Dan too.
I like to think I'm Dan A and he's Dan 1. Just
Okay.
keep it fair. I'm Dan H, I guess. Let's see. The first thing I was Nanaki Kazuaki in Hatful Boyfriend. Peter, are we talking about stuff
Dan
that's not
Catch.
out yet at all, or
Dan
keep
Catch.
it
What
Dan
kind of
Catch.
stuff? Verbs?
like
Verbs.
like a ghost
Verbs. What thing that is
Ghost
not
Trick.
out?
Like,
Huh?
Ghost
can we talk about Ghost Trick?
Yeah, you can talk about
Okay.
Ghost Trick. We already announced it.
Yeah.
I'm going to be Dandy and also Officer Bailey in Ghost Trick.
If we are talking about Ghost Trick, then I guess I am also going to be Beauty since, yeah.
I haven't heard yours yet. I can't wait.
The
It'll be
old
great. I
man-
think
Play-
I heard
play
some
off
of your
on-
stuff.
Yeah, well,
Guys,
I don't know.
Stop for a
Guys.
sec. Stop for
Oh.
a sec.
Oh man,
Did it freeze?
my moment.
we might have broke it.
We're okay. Reconnection successful.
We're
We're
back.
okay.
Continue.
We're
We're
good.
good?
Okay.
Where's your hat?
When we last left off.
I mean, I can if you
But
you're
who are
okay
you?
with
Who
that.
are you in
I'm okay
Fate?
with that.
Fate,
Oh.
Li Shuin.
Oh, we're
assassin.
back. Sorry, there were technical issues.
Yep.
Yeah, but that'll be a long way from now, I believe. That's
2
okay.
years.
I mean, if you want
Yeah.
And I've been cast. Sorry, James, as Bandages in Halloween Ultimate to replace my best friend James O'Byrne. And I think that's about it, aside from like little extras here and there. So yeah.
Okay.
And Beerus?
I'm sorry, I don't know this gentleman.
Dragon Ball.
Okay.
Dragon Ball. Yeah.
Well, he's not getting my gosh darn pizza. I'll tell you that, which is here, and I'm ready to have some. And you put me on the podcast as soon as it got here.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I don't know. Is he that cat guy?
Yes.
You can have some cat food, right?
He hit Vegeta's life.
And the Earth is destroyed.
Oh, I think Otto's upset.
Otto. Your best. What the heck? Oh, I'm sorry, Otto. You can be my co-best friend. I'm sorry.
Damn.
And Phil.
Best
We can
friend.
just have the whole crew in here.
Damn, Dan.
I'm a heartbreaker. What can I say? Yeah.
There are cups of
Okay, you guys have any voice
Okay, so which one of you has a horror story?
Well, I have like a small thing. I was gonna piggyback on what Peter said earlier about the guy you had to blacklist.
Yeah.
He kept bugging you on Tumblr. So Ash knows about this.
Oh.
I was
I do.
I was doing a little Ask blog on Tumblr, like before I did anything else voice acting related. And there's this one guy, I'm not gonna get into specifics, but he was like getting pretty creepy and he kept bothering me all the time. So eventually I just blocked him, right? But, you know, he didn't stop at that. Every single social media I had, he found me. He found my Facebook, Google Plus, which I've never, I signed up when it happened and then never used it. I found my Google Plus, my Tumblr, Twitter, everything. Found my wife on Facebook.
Yeah.
Started messaging her.
And then he found
what?
me on Facebook.
Don't do that.
It was so bad.
Right.
That guy, oh, sorry. That guy he wouldn't, eventually the leader of that little group I was in, I had to like tell him off and it finally worked, but he was just like, unblock me please, you're my best friend and stuff like that.
You have a lot of
I
best
don't
friends.
know you. Well, this one, I do not associate with this young man. Anyway, that's I think the creepiest thing that's happened to me, but luckily he never like came to my house or anything, so, which I don't doubt that he could have found my address somehow after everything he did. Anyway, not to get too real or anything.
Damn. Damn, Dan.
You got anything? Yes.
There was a project probably a year and a month ago that I auditioned for a horror game jam.
Oh.
And first, this was my fault. I didn't see that the character needed a French accent, but I auditioned anyway without it, and they cast me and noted that, and I was like, oh, whoops. They also cast somebody else as the same character and just included 2 voice options. This was sort of like, it was a visual novel, and I'm really bad at telling this story. But
Does Libby need to come help me tell the story?
she's really good at telling stories compared to
Libby,
me.
get in here.
Fill in for me.
Here, you can sit next to
Let me
me.
do a thing.
Also, while that's happening, I wonder if anyone has a sensei. I have a sensei.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
I have
A what?
pizza.
A sensei.
It's even better.
Yeah, your sensei.
You do have Chuck Huber.
I do
Yes.
check you.
No, your real sensei, your bird
Hello.
sensei is right there.
I know, my bird sensei is right there.
I like to think I have Lion Sensei.
We all have
We
lions.
all have lions,
Lion
Sensei.
Sensei.
We do.
In our hearts.
Your IRL waifu. Okay.
No.
Yeah, some people in Lift Up Project have like spouses because we're
Yeah.
adults.
What?
Some of us are adults.
It's weird. I
That's
know.
debatable.
That's
I wouldn't know if I'd
bullshit.
say that.
With lies.
Wait, I want to hear the story.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Go on.
Okay. I don't know how much I want to talk about because they're still doing a lot of stuff and they have kind of a presence online. But yeah, so they did this game jam last year that ended up kind of blowing up because a well-known YouTuber played it.
That's actually a good question.
Let's see. And then they decided to shill this for all that it's worth. So they started running like an Ask blog on their Tumblr. You know, ask this character questions and he'll respond or whatever. It's, I don't know.
Oftentimes, people ask specific information about the character because there's not really any because they're planning on having this character in their new game. And until like a few months ago when I happened to see a post from them on my Tumblr because I forgot about them, they were like, yeah, you'll find out in our new game, and also that's what like all the answers to these sort of questions are going to be for the future. which they could have done months ago because they kept getting questions like that and just having to answer the same thing. You'll find out in the new game.
But the long story short, basically, is that they cast for this new game, kind of, and ended up recasting his role without telling him.
It's someone with the native French accent, so I don't blame them, but I would have liked some advance
The thing is, though, like, if you've got to recast somebody, that's fine. Just let them know, because, and this is true for any sort of creative industry, people will talk about you. People will know that you're difficult to work with or that you don't communicate, and it makes the whole project so much harder. Just, you know, let people know, have everybody on board.
Communication is key.
It really is.
Hey, Libby, introduce yourself.
Yeah, introduce
hello.
yourself.
My name is Libby. I'm not in a whole lot of stuff
That's
yet.
a lie.
But
That's absolutely a lie. List all your things.
I'm Karen in Let's Fix Chaos Wars. I'm the new actress for Saber in Fate Extra, and I will be playing Lynn in Ghost Trick.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
And also,
and also Umi.
yeah, she's taking.
Oh, yeah.
We talked about this on the podcast. Ichiki Umi, she got recast. No longer Mippa, now Libby.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mippa.
You heard it here.
You heard it here first, folks.
Oh.
Yeah, you got a question.
A couple of questions.
Yep.
Let me eat this pizza real fast. Okay. First question from KG. Oh god, no, it's scrolled. First question. This is actually for everybody.
Everyone.
Everybody.
Question for everyone. With the amount of voice acting each of you has done in this channel over the years, have any of you been scouted by professional studios like Funimation and Viz Media?
I don't. We wish. We really wish.
They don't look at fandom.
No, yeah, they don't look at fan stuff like that.
They look at,
but
they look at demos and shit.
That's why we
don't
want to start
really
producing original content soon.
Yeah.
You don't get scouted by folks.
We go
like
to
that.
them.
Yeah.
We go to them. Like
You gotta be real famous to get
You're the
scouted.
ones scouting them.
like a lot of us have gone to like, well, Tyler, Paco, and I have gone to some Bang Zoom voice acting classes. I know Ash is doing classes, and I guess I'll move the mic.
Phantom Savage is doing classes right now.
Yeah, Phantom's doing classes. I know Lily interned at Bang Zoom, and she also got to be some Walla in anime, so that happened. But yeah, no, we don't get scouted. We go to them, and we pay them money to teach us how to do things, or get yelled at.
More money.
Yep. Mathana.
Well, hey, who questioned where, what, why?
God damn it! I literally just told you.
I'm eating pizza.
I
God
don't
dang
care.
it.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
All right. Okay. It's right here.
Question about my username and when did I start doing dubs?
Well, my username was just something I randomly came up with playing Final Fantasy XI when I was like 12. And I've just kind of used it ever since. And I started doing dubs back in 2013 because I was bored of doing Let's Plays of Pokemon hacks. True story. Was there another one?
No, that's it.
That was pretty much it. Okay, cool.
Good job, Peter.
Oh, we
Thank
do
you.
also
I
have
tried.
another question.
You started all of this.
Okay.
We do have another question on whether there's like, are there going to be upcoming projects?
Yes.
Always.
Yes. We always have ideas, but
It's just limited how many people want to do them.
yeah. Let me think. If there's anything like immediate soon.
Let's dub Nekopara.
What?
No, not Let's Dub
There's not-
Nekopara. That doesn't exist.
I mean, technically, Ghost Trick counts, right?
I mean, yeah, because we didn't cast everyone in Ghost Trick. We just did like
The first 10
first
episodes.
few episodes.
Once I get a 10 episode backlog and that, I'll start posting it. And we are currently on episode 5.
Yep, and
So-
because Tyler keeps motioning it while wearing cat ears, we are going to do Corpse Party at long last, and that has quite a few people. So, keep an eye out on all of our social media stuffs. We'll post casting calls for anything that we're doing. We're always looking for people who want to try this out, because it's fun, and people like doing it. Paco.
Yay.
You got a question, Danny?
I picked the wrong time to start chewing pizza.
Alright. What do you got?
You want me to come back to you?
We gotta be kind of loud.
YouTube is technically social media. Do we have a way to post announcements of casting call on YouTube?
I mean, Papa did that.
We have a discussion tab, but nobody ever uses it. I mean, we don't. I haven't just realized it.
We have a discussion tab?
Yes.
We could start doing that.
Okay. I guess we gotta start doing that.
We used to do announcement videos.
Yeah, we could.
You just go on like
Every once in a while we'll do one. Like,
there.
Maybe we should do like a cast and call announcement video.
Maybe.
We've done that for a couple, haven't we? Yeah, that's.
Yeah, we did
a
it
few
for
of them.
Fate. We
don't
did
do-
one for
Yeah, we
Fate.
did a casting.
We did one for
announcement
Fate,
And
yeah.
I think maybe.
And I think
it was Fate actually.
No, I think-
no one more.
Was there one for Octafire?
There might have
I
been.
mean,
one
there
for
was
Octavia.
like
I think there was one for us.
I
Yes,
think
there
there
was one.
was. Rachel's not here, and that's sad.
I wish she was.
We
I
miss you,
invited her,
Rachel.
she-
Oh, it's in our hearts.
Rachel!
Rachel's the best.
Funny story. I talked to Rachel about like doing a casting and like an announcement video where we're gonna start casting Kindred Spirits, and then the day it starts casting, she's like, "Hey, you got a video for this?" I'm like, "Nope." That was it.
Oh, Chula, come here, come here.
I'm like,
All right, so 2 questions. How do you decide on game to let's sub in the first place? Okay, then everyone. So when you answer the question, because then for everyone, if you were in an octave higher, would you be in Libertad or Bourgeoisie?
I mean, if I had a choice, I would want to be rich.
Like,
if I had the choice, I would want to be rich.
Don't all the rich people get
So-
eaten in an occupier?
No.
They don't get eaten. What
Wait,
do you
somebody
think
get
will play?
eaten by?
Jesus.
Please don't vor the rich.
Yeah, don't for rich
I don't know what
people.
happens in that show. I don't watch it.
You should watch it.
I just do extra
Yeah,
share there.
Octafire is great, and we're almost done with that, so go watch that.
Chula would be Libertad because I cannot in my life ever imagine actually being rich.
Okay.
Yeah, sadly, I'm pretty sure.
How does the Let's Stuff get made? That's well.
How do we decide on a
Here-
game?
When a
for it?
man and a woman love
Hey
each other
guys, we
very
should dub this thing. Okay.
Here's the thing. Well, it's just a matter of who's gonna do it, can they do it, what game do they want to do, put all those factors together, and you really got the rest of the show.
Well, sometimes, like...
There's a lot more to it than that.
Yeah,
that you
it's
consider.
a combination of factors, but it's gotta be.
I would like to explain this.
Peter, would you like to come over
Drop
here?
the mic back to Peter. Come around.
My
Why
arms
would
are
we
not
let
that
the
long.
leader talk about?
Where are you going, Peter?
Peter,
I
you
know, I
can
need
move
to
We're trying to
follow.
follow you with the camera, but
Our
you're moving too
glorious
slow.
leader. He knows.
You know something.
I need to finish eating pizza crust first.
Oh my god.
Okay, so then another thing, so while you fish eating your pizza crust, another thing is I see, well, is it possible to get myself out there a bit more? Like voice acting, I mean. I auditioned for a voice role before, but I didn't have the equipment to really feel like I get the role. Let's think about that question. Then
Okay.
Peter, answer your question, then we can talk about that.
Okay, well, how are series for Let's Dub's chosen? There's a lot of factors that go into it. The length of the game, the willingness of anybody to direct it that has directed before or is willing to direct it, the interest of the fans, whether we think, the fans would be interested in watching it, and just in general, like, how good of a series could it be, Like, we've had a few that has been like, I don't know how good of a series this will be, but we're going to try it because it has potential. There's only ever been one Let's Dub series that I said no to, actually. And I can't remember the name of that game. But there's only been one, so I'm not that picky. It was only 2 actors. Like, there were only 2 characters in the whole game, and the whole game was just them having a conversation.
Yeah.
I forget what it's called, though. It looks like it was drawn by the same people that did Octave Higher, but I know it's not.
I mean, we also like take
Oh.
length and
Dysfunctional systems?
No, not dysfunctional systems.
I like that. But that's like an hour and a half.
That one would probably be okay if it was good, if it's that short. But...
Presentable Liberty was about an hour.
Yeah.
It's important. It's important to consider the
true.
sexual content of the game as well.
Yeah, there
also
are a lot of things to consider. I mean, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a lot of things to consider when picking a Let's Dub. This is actually aimed at Phil. What am I doing? Oh God. Object Phil. There's a lot of things to consider. It's like length, the cast size. God, what else?
Whether it's interesting
whether
to
interesting to watch. If there's already a good English dub, why would we redub it?
Yeah.
Well, PG-13. We don't want to do like dramatical murder.
Yeah.
Well, we do, but we'll do the PS Vita version.
Yeah.
I mean, it really depends on whether the sex scenes are integral to the plot.
I don't know. It's pretty integral. As
I
far as
mean,
I'm
they get-
concerned.
You can always just skip over.
We do a PS Vita version, which is PG-13.
The great thing is that after all the sex scenes in Kindred Spirits, the game just fades to black. So we have an excuse. Fades to black.
Beautiful.
Before they even start.
Yes.
There's still nipples though.
Yeah.
That's not.
No nips. Just
Spoilers.
who cares?
Beam of light.
Toki literature.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I need to finish playing.
I need
All right.
to start.
Can I hop on the camera for the question about like getting into voice acting?
Yeah. Do it.
Is that permitted?
Go for
Am I
it.
allowed to come from behind the screen?
Come from behind the screen or come to the front.
Okay, I'm gonna move around. So, else has got to man the computer then?
I will man the computer.
Okay, while you guys are doing that, I'm gonna go down to the corner store and get some sodas.
Okay. All right.
Can I
Okay,
make
so
a
how many of
request
you guys
for-
actually want soda is the question, because that'll determine how much I get.
I'm going to take Peter's
I
spot.
would be up for it.
I'm also just switching people out, so who's switching? Let's don't want to be in here
I'll
more.
probably
So
just
you'll,
get like
you
3
guys
boxes,
can.
I
Okay.
guess.
What do you guys want to do?
I want to go get more pizza.
Bye.
Tyler!
Dr. Pepper. Oh,
Tyler!
right, yes, preferences. Dr. Pepper, Coke.
Yeah.
It is time, Tyler!
Tyler,
Get on the
come on the
podcast.
screen.
I'm scared though.
Tyler,
I'm gonna be
Get
here
on the
too.
screen.
come,
so-
face your destiny.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, what soda does
Where am I
everybody
going?
want?
I'll sit
Soda or
I'll sit here. I'll sit
Where am
here.
I? I'm over
Dr.
here.
Pepper.
Over
Dr.
here.
Pepper.
Oh,
Right
God.
on the end. Okay.
Okay.
Hello, Tyler.
Hello.
Now I wanted to be on this. I wanted to do the. I wanted to help with
fix my
the.
ears?
I wanted to help with the voice
my
acting,
ears.
how to get into voice acting part, because this is really important. I feel like I've learned a lot. Hi, I'm Ash. I've been sitting over there.
Ash has been our tech
Introduce yourself,
girl
Ash.
this whole night, and nothing has gone horribly wrong yet. So.
Yay, better than me.
And so who I am, I play Hiyoko Tosaka in Hatoful Boyfriend, Lister Hatoful Boyfriend. I am Yuna in Kindred Spirits. I am, oh fuck, what's her name? Aoka? Who's my character in Fate? Aoko, sorry. I play Aoko and a girl with short brown hair in Fate, who we've named Mariko. Shout out to Mariko. And I played Madame Beauvoir for like that one scene in Octave Higher. And then like a bunch of other like extras and stuff. Oh, and I was female gunner in Dungeon Fighter Online. I also run our Twitter, and they're all staying at my house right now.
We are.
Group mom.
So to answer the question of how to get out there, oh god, the books move. And to help with the answer how to get out there with voice acting stuff, because okay, I'm taking a bunch of classes and stuff this year. I auditioned for 210 things this year. I am in 8. No, I'm technically in 15, but they're like 2 of them are Let's Step projects, which I mean, like, to me that like I know these people. I've developed these 2 years developing rapport to be in the, to be like, oh, a stronger contender, and like 2 of them are just my friends being like, hey, can you bring this to Bridge Series for me, and me being like, oh my god, fine. So it's about volume is a big part of it. I also have been acting, like stage acting, since I was like 6.
Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Thank you.
I've also been stage acting
Get
since
that
I was
camera pocket.
since I was like 6. I know a lot of us here are stage actors as well. Ryan's a stage actor. You know, you're like actually trained, right?
Well, I got my bachelor's in theater arts, so yeah.
Yeah, like I'm like only a little bit trained.
Ryan's the trained one here.
Ryan's like the real trained one. He's the actual actor.
I did theater as a younger person.
Yeah.
I've been in the same room as a stage before.
I'm taking intro to theater
But
next semester.
so a lot of it, what it is so you're gonna start with bad equipment. I
Oh,
started on a like a rock band mic
What
or
else?
something.
Like, what did everybody start with?
I started with I think a rock band mic and my streaming headset.
I started with a headset.
Yeah.
I started with the Turtle Beach headset.
Yeah.
I had a USB mic.
I started with a Blue Yeti.
Yeah.
Wow,
Built
Paco.
in.
Built-in, yeah.
$20 Logitech like stick mic.
Yeah,
Right?
Same.
So, like, we all start with really bad equipment. So what you do is you start with your bad equipment. You're going to find people whose projects are not going to be, like, the best projects because, you know, they're, you know...
And
that's okay, though, because you're all in a learning environment.
Yeah,
so you
exactly.
have to think of online voice acting as community theater, almost.
It really is. It's
This-
online
yeah.
community.
Where
early-
it's like
this-
you're learning, you're all working together to learn how to act, and then as you get better, and you have, but the only way you get better is you keep doing it.
You have to keep
And-
doing
over
it.
and over. I record something every single day.
And the early part is really important because, I mean, what if you don't like it? You don't want to rush into buying that like $400.
No,
Exactly,
yeah.
exactly.
Don't
You don't
spend
wanna
money
rush
on
into
this
equipment.
unless you really
Yeah, like
want to.
so you have to practice. Like so that you have to be. I'm like I record something every single day now. I'm doing 10. Like I'm started doing like 10. Fucking with the commercial auditions a day. You know, like this hat is actually kind of bothering me a little bit. I have to start hat patting. I'm sorry. You know, and I'm gonna be in 2 video games next year that are coming out. So what I'm saying is like, but it's taken me 20 years of stage acting and like 2.5 years of like switching over to voice acting just to get to like a 2-line part in a video game. And so like, it's not like a long overnight process. Like you are gonna work your ass off, and if you're not working your ass off, you're not doing it right. Like you ain't getting nowhere. Like I had to pay $600 to take voice acting classes because that's the price you have to pay. Like, you know, I'm taking 2 classes this year.
Taking off the hat is disappointing.
Conform.
So like so like if you don't feel like you're a good contender right now, just keep going. Like, and you're gonna feel like your life is falling apart when you don't get auditions. I'm
One thing you have to realize about voice acting is that, especially online voice acting, is that there are so many people doing this nowadays that it is so hard to consistently get things.
To give you an idea, a project on Voice Acting Club that I auditioned for got 2,500 auditions.
Like, even just recently, the Now Voice This competition. 1,500 entries for the first round.
I made it to semifinals. I didn't make it to finals, but I worked really hard. I want the recognition.
They were gonna have 25.
Like,
I made it to round 2.
Good job, Paco.
I did.
I didn't even enter.
But that's the thing. If you don't enter, you don't win.
Yeah.
So
you also don't lose.
You also don't lose. But what people don't realize is that there are so many people doing this nowadays because it's getting so much easier to break into. And you need to understand that with so many people doing this, your chances are going to get slimmer and slimmer, which isn't a bad thing. It just means that there are more options. And you may not get cast for, like, just because your voice didn't fit. It may not be because you're a bad actor or anything. It's just your voice just did not fit for that character. And that happens so often with professionals, like, all the time. Or Tony has told us many stories about that.
Yeah.
Like, Tony Oliver, who directs a lot of stuff at Bang Zoom, he does voice acting classes in LA, Chicago, New York.
And he's been voice acting since, like, what, the 90s?
Since the 90s.
Yeah. No. Was it the 80s?
I don't know.
He started in Robotech. When was that?
That
might have
been
been
older than I am.
Yeah.
Older than I am.
So that might have been the 80s, and he's...
So, he's told us a lot of stories about how the actual rate for getting stuff for him. He told us about, like, Steve Bloom, who everyone knows. Everyone knows who Steve Bloom is. He's a great actor. I think in the class I took this fall, he said Steve Bloom's best year that he said was he got 30% of the roles he auditioned for.
Okay.
That's a good year with someone who's at the top of their game.
That's like professional batting average.
Yeah. No, that's not even like an average, because like Tony said his was like maybe 15%. You are not going to get everything you audition for.
That's a good year.
That's a really good year.
Yeah, and like my year, this was an amazing fucking year. I was like, holy fuck, I'm getting all these parts, and you know, but it's not. It's like a percentage of like.
You just have to keep doing it, putting yourself out there, and then if you don't get it, then you don't get it, and you move on with your life. Because you got to do it and practice and maybe expand your range some more.
Because that's the thing, there are always going to be projects.
Always.
I have a horror story that's actually related to. I'll tell it in a minute.
Well, I don't know about that. Adobe made that program. You feed it like 20 minutes of audio, it can recreate people's voices.
You know what?
That'll happen in the future, and we're not there yet.
Like there are like there are always gonna be projects out there. Like you're gonna do it. You're gonna get there eventually if you push for it. Like you just can't. You have to. You can't be your own worst enemy. You know. You can't let yourself be. You can't let yourself be let down by not getting a part. Because guess what? You ain't getting a part. Just go in assuming you're not gonna get it.
That's
seriously
kind of
every time you audition, assume you're not going to get it, and then when you do, it's like,
yeah,
I got the part. Like you can't. It can be very demoralizing, especially when you first start. Mm-hmm. You're like, I know I'm a good actor,
but I'm not getting anything.
But because everyone's a good actor. Like. I mean, you know.
Not everyone, but you know.
But like this,
even when you are getting cast.
Exactly. Like, and it's just like, you know, like if you're getting cast in something and it's like not as good, you know, if you have projects that don't go through, which you're gonna have projects that don't go through
all the time.
All the time. Like I have a list on my computer of like all the projects that I'm like supposed to be in, and I think like 2 of them are active right now. And it's just like it's rough, but you got to do it. It's one of those, if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen, because like If you can't handle it as an amateur and like just doing hobbyist projects, you're never gonna make it professionally, ever.
Like, I want to add that with the stage acting thing, that can be like, you do not have to stage act, but if you start taking like theater lessons in high school, find your community theater, whatever, you will have practice without having to like just audition for things and hope you get in. If I hadn't done if I hadn't auditioned for my school plays and musicals, my college musicals, community theater stuff, I have no doubt that I would not be doing any voice acting right now, because I was shit for the longest time. And then, you know, I started having teachers who could tell me like what I was doing wrong, how to do better. And then I started like getting a job and being able to afford more decent equipment because I was out of high school, and you know, that happens sometimes.
High school happens.
High school does happen.
Like, get your experience if you're still in school, and then, you know, like...
Because that is free experience right there.
Right.
More or less.
More or less, but...
If you can... if you can get equipment as a present, that's super neat. And if you can't, you know, try to get a job and slowly save up rather than, you know...
Don't blow all your money on it.
Yeah.
Buy smart, not expensive. You can get professional quality sound
if you
are
around with
smart for like maybe $200. Like, as long as if you do your research, treat your space, get good equipment, treat your space. Like, I mean, my equipment's only like $200, and like, but I have a good space to work in. So be smart about like what you're gonna do and how you're gonna upgrade, and like do your research and stuff.
All right, well, we've been going a while. But before Tyler,
I never introduced
Sorry,
myself.
I'm so sorry, Tyler. I love you.
Please introduce yourself.
Who
the
am
man
I?
with the cat ears.
Hi, I'm Tyler, or Red524. It was red, or the red that's not a tomato. I play the narrator 999, Dr. Money in Presentable Liberty. Who else? Arashima Cartagra, and there's probably someone else. Kotamine and Fate Extra. That's it.
You're Nagaki and Hatterful.
And Nagaki and Hatterful Boyfriend.
And what are you in charge of?
I am in charge of Fate Extra and the upcoming Let's Dub Corpse Party.
Yeah!
Oh, yeah, and I'm Kenji in Sound of Drop.
Oh, and his most prominent role that finally debuted.
I play the grumpy elder in Let's Dub Lady of the Shard.
And you're the male fighter in Dubs and Fights.
And I'm the male fighter in Dub. I played too many roles, I'm sorry.
Gosh, Tyler.
I just get all these roles. I'm such a big deal,
you can't
right?
hold all these roles. Anyway.
All right,
How many horror stories do you have for us tonight? Because I think we've gotten a little off track.
I need to think of some. I'll work on it. Come back to me.
Okay.
All right,
I'll
Ash.
do mine while I'm sitting here. So, this is a story about how my life got flipped turned upside down. I'm so sorry.
Drinking orange juice out of a champagne glass!
Thank you, Chula.
Okay.
Thank you, Paco.
Okay, so I have a lot. I was thinking about the other project, Dan. I was thinking about that one earlier.
Are you gonna out me about something?
No. I was just thinking about how that like ended, like all the bullshit that went with the ending of it. But I was like, I don't want to tell that story. It's too depressing.
It happens.
It happens. It totally happens. There's a general horror story that we've all been through of like directors just being like not good at what they do and things just falling apart. My big one was I was kind of like moving it. You have to be careful when you're trying to be a paid voice actor, because if you do too much free stuff, people are gonna be like, why do I have to pay you to do stuff? And so, like, you know, if you're doing a bridging work, or like if you're just doing like free hobby stuff, like you have to kind of start weighing your options of like, okay, I could do this where I could get paid. Okay, what do I need to focus my energy on? So there was a project on BTVA, and I like saw it, and I don't even know why I auditioned. So rule 1, don't audition for something unless you're willing to do it. Which there's caveats to that, because sometimes you don't know what the project is until you're actually in it, and then you're like, what? And then you back out. But I auditioned, it was a guy's audiobook, and I thought, well, I do need some audiobook practice, and he was turning his book into a play, and I was like, okay, well, I do need some practice on that. Screw it, I'll throw down this audition for this part, the British part. Back to my British accent. And, I want to start off by saying, like, it was his original novel that he had self-published. It was turning into an audio play, and the descriptions for literally all the female characters were, is really 50, but because of advances in medical technology, she only looks 25.
every single female
Really?
character.
She didn't look like 12?
Yeah, it could be
Right?
worse.
It could have been so much worse. So every single female character, despite being like 100, 110, or like 80, all like were in their 30s. We're all in their 20s and 30s. So I was like, whatever the fuck I was doing. So I threw down an audition, got the part, and was like, didn't actually expect to get the part, but I was like, okay, well, whatever, that's cool. This was a completely free project. I was completely pro bono. I was not getting paid for it. I was misled by how much work there actually was going to be, because apparently the part I had gotten wasn't just one part. It was like 4 parts combined, because it was like her part, and then she had like 3 split personalities. And so it was really more like 4 characters, and like some had British accents and some didn't. He asked me if I could do an American accent. I don't know. Can you? I don't know. I was like, maybe. Can any of us do American accents?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
No, not a single one.
So like, asked if I could do an American accent. I was just like, well, I am American, so yes, I'll try.
I
Easily.
can try my best.
I was like, I have a decent British accent. Like, he'd only, in his defense, he'd only heard me speaking with a British accent. The accent's not that good.
There are a lot
Like,
of American accents.
I wouldn't like, trick a British person. Anyway, so I finally get the lines in. And it's gonna be like 4 to 6 hours of work to actually do all of this. And it was like right at the cusp of getting like 4 other projects, some of which were paid. And some I told this story to a couple people already, so they're sitting here nodding. And like it was coming on the urgent, so I basically was I was at an impasse, and I have never ever done this before, and I highly recommend never doing this. I had to back out of a project. I mean, you guys all know me, I know, but you guys don't, but they all know me. I don't back out of projects.
Ash's a committed lady.
I'm a committed woman. I am still Kobayashi in Dragon Maid Abridged, despite having to say just awful things while faking drunk.
Be very careful for what you audition
Be very careful for what you audition. Luckily, that was one of my friends, so it's not quite. It's one of my friends, so I was like, whatever, I'll do your stupid Dragon Maid thing, sure. He's gonna see this later and be mad at me in Discord.
We didn't get to go to the Dragon Maid Cafe.
We'll go tomorrow. Is it open
It's not
tomorrow?
open.
Oh, damn it. Oh, well.
It was full when we went Saturday.
Oh, my Kobayashi cosplay tomorrow. Anyway, so I told him, I was like, hey, look, I never do this, and I'm really sorry. I was trying to be very apologetic, but I'm gonna have to have you recast me for this. These situations are occurring. I've had some situations come up, some new projects. There's been a couple of emergencies, blah, blah. I'm not going to be able to do this in the time that you want done and in a good way. It's just not going to be doable. Really sorry. I will help you. Do whatever I will help you. Like I said, like, if you have to back out a project, try to not burn any bridges. Most of the time, people will understand. And now they may be like, well, I'm never going to work with you again. But generally, they'll be like they'll be okay about it, especially in situations where it's like free work.
Now we'll get to the meat of this.
I had to preface it a little bit. When I say, hey, I really can't do this, blah, blah, the first thing he messages back is, Ash, really? And I was like, this is not going to start well. So then I messaged back. I was like, keep my composure. I messaged back. I was like, yeah, like, I really, this is happening. I really can't. I'm really sorry. And he's like, it's only like 2 hours of work and you have like a month. And I was like, well, it's not 2 hours of work, first off. It's like 6 hours of work if you want it done well. And second of all, screw you. Like, seriously? Like, what the hell? And so I like explained, I was like, yeah, I understand. I was like, well, it's like, I know it's actually quite a bit more work than that. But also this, and this, I hate to pull this card, but I do have some bills I have to pay. And this, this being, something had to give, this is what it was. I feel like I was a little bit more eloquent when I actually typed it out. But the response I get back after this, and I shared the screen cap with everybody, because it was this good, was, to paraphrase, basically, well then, I guess I'm just gonna tear up our contract, blah, 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 blah. I'm so sorry that, like, you throw away this opportunity. I am gonna be the lead of, like, this audio play production company, and, like, I'm the lead designer on a new MMO, and I was gonna, like, offer you guys all these parts, and that was gonna be paid work in the future, and, like, just like listing off like guy in your MFA kind of stuff, where it's like my screenplay's been optioned, you know, that kind of like attitude, where it was just like, no, it's like I recommend like in the future you're gonna need to like be more professional and like don't burn your bridges and like blah 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 blah, like on and on and on, and I was like, all right, talk to you later, like, and I sat there for a minute. I was like, okay, was I in the wrong on this? Because you have to take that into consideration. You have to be like, and I was like, nah, this guy took it way too far and was like absolutely ridiculous and being like, you know, I could have offered you all this free work. Well, then why aren't you paying people for the project you're already doing?
Oh, because it'll happen in the future.
Because it'll happen in the future.
I'm kind of a big deal. How
I'm
can
kind
you
of a
do
big
this
deal.
to me?
I'm kind of a big deal because you do this to me. So what I did, because I'm petty and vengeful, is between the Let's Step project and about 4 or 5 other voice acting related group chats. Ash has so connections. I have connections. I'm actually a really nice person, I think. But you know, this one thing. This one thing.
So we're talking like a total of maybe like 200 people. I went, hey guys, this guy, and I said his name. I was like, this guy, his name. I won't do it live because I'm not that bad. This is this guy's name. This is the message he just sent me. This is the scenario. Don't ever work with him. So, you know, he's like, I'm never going to work with you again. And I was like, I will do everything in my power to make sure none of the other voice actors I know will ever work with you again. Don't be a dick to me.
You're a hero.
Thank you. Thank you. But like, so the moral of this story is,
don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick. The voice acting community is tiny. We all know each other.
Everyone knows each other.
Like
and
we do. Like it's like there are people I know through like 4 and 5 different connections.
The voice acting world is small because this is all the good people. The amateur voice acting world, everybody, very large.
Yeah,
that's
but
why
like
you see like inflated audition counts.
But the quality like voice acting online community, we all know each other, and if you piss any one of us off, everyone's gonna know about it because we're chatty motherfuckers.
Now all of China knows you're a douchebag.
Basically, like we will talk, and like that's like a big thing with all creative communities. People
we gossip.
Talk. Like we're doing this right now live on a YouTube channel, telling these stories. We have no shame.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
We do have some questions.
Oh, questions. That was my long ass story. I'm sorry, guys.
So,
first question. Is it like the remember which voices?
Well, I saw one that we didn't do before.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Genderless Child wants to know what dub we're doing next. Right now, in the works, we've got Corpse Party, Sound of Drop, Ghost Trick. Octafire is almost done.
One episode left.
One episode!
Woo! Kindred Spirits is still going.
Kindred Spirits is still going on.
Fate Extra is still going.
Fate Extra. Halloween Otome is almost done. Lady of the Shard has one more part.
Danganronpa 2 hasn't been canceled yet. It is still a thing.
Danganronpa 2 still exists.
It's still a thing, I promise.
And after we're done with Octave Higher, we have another special thing coming out. That'll be exciting.
It's a secret.
It's a secret.
It's a secret.
So yeah, we've got a bunch of stuff coming
Also,
out.
I think this new year we're also like.
Oh,
we're
and
also,
Danganronpa 0.
Right.
That's also.
Yeah. Also, this new year we're also like in work talking about like what are some we are talking about new things that we can do this year for everybody.
Yep.
Exciting new projects.
You should do Code Realize.
Who said that?
Who said that?
I wonder.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Pay no attention to the mysterious voice from below the table.
All right.
Thank you, Sky
before we
Voice.
go.
All right.
We still have a few more.
Yeah.
Okay,
Second
go
question
Go with the question.
is: how do you remember which voices go for which characters when you have multiple roles to play?
I have the answer for this one.
Okay, Ash, go for it.
I have an answer for this one that I learned from some professional voice actors. They're called reference lines.
Yeah.
Oh god, yes, I love reference lines.
Yeah.
So basically, what I do personally is if I'm doing a character, I'm trying to figure out how they go. I'm like, okay, what's this character for this? Blah, blah, blah. So like, if I want to do like back when I was doing Hiyoko, like if I wanted to get Hiyoko voice, it was like, I'm Hiyoko Tosaka, and I'm the bird fucker. Like, and that was my reference line.
I'm the bird fucker.
But that was my reference line. It was the same thing I said every single time, and I have like recordings of like what you'd like all. Like I know what I do is I just go back into like
I go
my
back to my
recordings
audition lines
and listen to them.
I do that.
And like I have a character who I'm doing right now, What?
Going back to your audition.
Yeah, I always go back to my
audition.
audition.
I go back into previous recordings. Like, I'm in a bunch of things that are doing, like, episodes. And so, like, I always have to go back to previous episodes and be like, okay, how do I talk to this guy again? What's my character's? I'm Blue! I have a hammer! Blah! Okay, that's my character. That's my voice for that. Okay, cool, great.
Like,
you know.
It was, I spent like 2 hours recording the first episode of Hatful Boyfriend because I couldn't remember how to do the voice I used. In that
Exactly. No, it's like that's totally that's like legit. Yeah, but like reference lines are a big thing that they use them professionally too. Or it'd be like, hey, you know, roll this back, please.
Every time I have to do Miles Edgeworth, I always start the session with, "My name is Miles Edgeworth, and I'm the chief prosecuting attorney for my district," or something like that.
Yeah.
It's one of the first lines in AAI.
Like you pick something that like works for you, and you can find the pace of it back.
I hope I told you about how she didn't have any other recordings. One time the actress from Megami left it at the start recording. I guess the reference line is her just saying Sachi-san over and over again.
Oh my god, you have to do Japanese characters. Oh my god, I'm so bad about that. How many times did I say Koko no Saboshi? I mean, Coco no.
Japanese words are hard.
You get better at them.
You get better, but like, yeah, I use audition lines, and I have most of my audition lines for like everyone memorized.
Yeah, other questions. We can trade people out. I've been sitting here too long.
Commercial work, those are called lead-in.
Yes,
Indeed.
that is absolutely accurate.
All right. Another question is, how much time goes into editing the voices?
That
depends.
That depends.
It depends.
That depends on a lot of things.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we'll get, like, do you mean, like, when we edit our own lines or when we're editing lines from other people for projects?
Oh, yeah, that's a very good question.
I think they were talking about just, like, how much time you spend on your own lines.
Okay, then yeah, that depends on the character, because...
Yeah.
Because I know...
if you have, like, ad-libs and stuff, you gotta work through that.
And I know for Kindred Spirits, he got mad at me for doing too many takes. And so I had to cut down.
How many takes did you do?
A lot.
3 takes, Ash. Come on, 3 takes.
I didn't know how she talked
Phil,
so
you
much.
can't rush perfection, please.
Yeah, but we ended up having to cut down the number of takes I did, which actually was better because Yuna just talks so fucking much.
Yeah.
Then like for Hatful Boyfriend, I had to cut down my lines a lot because I would just sit there and being like, "What's funny?" We say this line like 17 times, and there's like these huge gaps between them. So.
Ironically, I think the project that took the most time to edit in terms of voice is probably like the one with the least amount of work, Dungeon Fighter.
Yeah, I can actually see that because
it came out so nice.
Dungeon Fighter came out really well.
At professional level, if it hadn't been for some of the clipping and some of the lines, I would have been like, "Whoa, this is official."
Yeah. Well, I think because with Dungeon Fighter, we had like 80 to 90 lines at least, and I think you had like 200.
Because my character had a bunch of
and then like
So
basically
everyone
a lot.
should download Dungeon Fighter.
Yeah, if you play Dungeon Fighter online, you should download our English mod.
Good job, everyone.
Yeah. I know. Let's see. I know. I did.
We'll do female priest eventually.
Eventually.
I know that.
New night subclasses.
As far
Hey,
as
Rachel.
So as far as the time for editing, I know I can. I don't do a series, so I really don't have any. I was gonna say like I've done like audio dramas, and how long does it take me? A long fucking time is the answer. Like,
I'd say it takes me like 6 hours to get through an average episode of Kindred Spirits. That's mostly because I cut out all the blank space.
Oh yeah.
If there's a fight scene in Fate, that episode is
episode 13 of Kindred Spirits, 31 minutes in raw, 14 minutes when finished.
Yeah.
Like it took me 4 days to do a video game that I was working on.
I think my longest session was probably the first episode Hakuno appears in Fate, because Hakuno inner monologues a lot in that episode, so it took me about an hour and a half to get everything done raw. And then I went through and edited it down, and it was still about an hour long, so I had to break it up into 3 parts so it could all fit on the Google Drive, and so I didn't flood Paco and Tyler with an hour and a half of bullshit.
Tyler doesn't edit lines.
What?
Oh. But then, like, for other characters, it depends on how much they're in the episode. Because sometimes, like, when I was doing Aretha stuff, it would be really short because Aretha would just be there for a few lines. But then for the finale stuff, it took me a long time to get into what happens in the finale, which is a lot.
Every episode that Elise narrated, every single one took me 2 hours to record.
Yeah. That's Yuna and Kindred Spirits.
Be very careful if you get a main character for anything.
That's Edgeworth for pretty much any ace attorney, and if there's a lot of Peter fucking around not getting the goddamn evidence presented correctly, then it takes longer because I have to improv roll that bullshit.
Hey, he's back!
Speak of the devil.
Do we have any more questions?
Yeah.
We got some more.
Our store was closed, so I had to go all the way
Oh, somebody wants Ryan to say objection in his Miles Etcheruth voice.
Okay, hold on. Here we go. Ryan.
Ryan.
On you.
Okay.
Do you want to sign?
That was something.
Objection!
Yeah. Okay. So another question we got. Well, it's a compliment and then a question. I love your dub of To the Moon. Are there any plans to dub Finding Paradise?
That's up to...
Hey, Peter, are we gonna dub Finding Paradise?
Peter!
Peter!
Hey, Peter!
Peter! Peter!
I don't know, maybe I haven't played it yet.
He says,
So that's a solid
he
maybe.
says, I don't know, maybe I haven't played it.
Basically, it's gonna. He's gonna have to play it.
Yeah.
Like, we'll have to play it because it ends up being like really long or something. So that's a better question. That's a better question answered after the game is out and we've played it.
Yeah.
It is out.
Yep.
Well, okay.
Okay.
After we play.
All right, Tyler.
Tyler,
Yes,
Tyler,
yes.
Horror
Yes.
stories from
Oh.
Tyler.
Yeah, that's my fault.
Oh yeah, I have to
Let's
tell a
say
story.
we do have one more question.
I have
Let Tyler speak.
Yeah, let's try to do his question.
We need to
the
focus
best
on...
story I thought of is still not great, but I guess I auditioned for something on Behind the Voice Actors back in like 2013, and it didn't get cast until 2014 or so, and it never happened after that. But she did cast everyone, and I sent in my lines, and I never heard anything again after that. So.
Dear God.
Oh, wait, no, I can think of one more horror story that I have that's kind of dark, actually.
Oh, what's the last question?
Yeah, what's the last question first?
All right.
What's the last question?
Speaking of Funimation, what are everyone's thoughts on their dub of the Ace Attorney anime?
Has that premiered
Is it
yet, or
aired
is it
yet?
premiering on Sunday?
I think it's on Sunday.
We'll tell you when we watch it.
Is Sam Regal still Phoenix Wright?
I know
it's aired.
What? Come on.
Well,
Sam Regal's not Funimation.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like him as Phoenix Wright.
Well, we should have a watch party.
Oh, Lily's
Because I have the Funimation streaming app. If you really like anime and want to watch it a lot, you should
She's
get
watching
Funimation
the stream.
streaming.
Okay.
We're not being
So
We're not
hopefully
sponsored.
We are not being
No.
sponsored.
Although
That's
I
just
wish
my
we were.
opinion.
We
I
are
really
not
like
a
Funimation
cult.
And I
streaming.
We are
answered the
not
other
a
question
cult.
anyway, so-
Support the industry.
All right. Answer, you got one more story.
I do have one.
Maybe there's one more story when we're done.
I do have one more story. This one is very dark, however. So a while back, there was an original visual novel being produced. I think it was a Yuri one.
You and Yuri.
Listen. That was being worked on. Like, it had a demo out. It had, like, designs for a lot of things, etc., etc. It looked really promising. And Lily actually got to be in charge of casting for it. So she advertised it to a bunch of us. This was like 3 years ago, so this was a long time ago. And I auditioned, and I got the role of the protagonist in that. And so I went, I played the demo. It was cute. You know, I liked what I saw. I was really hopeful for what they were going to do with it. However, I didn't hear anything from Lily about that for a while, and I was never like in contact with the devs of the game. So one day I was like, I wonder what's going on with this. This was months later. So I went, I looked through, because they had like a dev blog on Tumblr. I looked that up, and I found that they had canceled everything because they had outed one of the writers as causing another person in the group to kill themselves.
Holy fuck.
Wow.
So that got canceled, and that got canned really fast, and yeah.
Holy
fuck.
Yeah, so, like, I saw that, and I was like, oh, okay. Yeah.
Well, I think that's pretty fair.
Yeah,
to
it's-
them for that.
It's
That's
completely
not even,
fair.
Like small drama. That's...
No, it was, like, I went back to, like, some of the devs' blogs, and I looked through everything, and I was like, wow, that is a lot going on here. I'm going to back the fuck out of this. So,
jeez.
All right.
yeah.
To end this on a lighthearted note, don't point the camera at me.
Yeah.
Point it away for me.
Point it at me.
Okay,
Okay.
fine.
So we can see Ash's beautiful
To end
message.
this, I'm gonna go on three. We'll all say, okay.
Oh.
Got it.
Three. Or, I start on three.
Wait,
Excuse
on one.
you.
Go or on three?
On three. On three.
Everybody get in here.
Everybody, get behind here. Come on.
You'll be
Okay, everybody get in here. Everybody get in the shot.
That's gonna be difficult.
We're all saying objection.
Well, you just said it out
Come
loud.
on.
Point.
Come on.
They know what we're gonna do. He held
Yeah,
up the
they
sign.
know what we're doing.
I
But he
told you to
wasn't
give me
on
out of
camera.
Okay, everyone.
Okay,
As
guys.
many people as possible.
Right.
How many? Libby.
Run in the other side.
Wait, Bethana, can you get behind her?
Yeah, hold on. Let me just, like, hold on.
over on this side. There's room.
Just
Yeah,
adjust
but
it. Nobody move the camera.
Nobody touch the table.
Where am I supposed to go?
Doesn't matter. Just get in here.
Come on.
Phil, what have you done?
There's
All right.
Oh god, claustrophobia.
Okay.
Oh god, too many people.
On 3.
Okay,
One.
so are we gonna do it on 3 or is it gonna be 3?
Is it on 3?
So it's 1, 2.
1, 2, 3. Then we
1,
all
2,
say.
3.
After
1, 2, 3, go.
Yes. 1, 2, 3.
Objection! When's the next Ace Attorney?
God,
God damn it!
No, that's wrong.
Okay, that's wrong. But thank you guys for joining us for our first live in-person stream. This was really fun. Hopefully we'll do this again next year.
Yep.
We'll just with an actual panel.
Yeah, with an actual panel.
Ikkicon.
Thanks, Ikkicon.
Ikkicon fucked us.
It was actually a lot of fun today, though. Ikkicon, you guys are great. You guys are working really hard.
But yeah.
Yeah, no, Ikkicon was rad.
Yeah, it was a good
Stay
time.
tuned for more Let's Dub
Yes,
stuff.
if you're in Ikkicon, we're here all weekend hanging out at the convention. So
We'll have a meetup tomorrow.
we're having a meetup tomorrow. If you
Yes.
happen to be at Ikkicon.
Chula's gonna be Kaede Akami tomorrow.
Yeah,
Right,
some
I
people
think-
are cosplaying.
I think we're gonna have a Kritsugu maybe. I don't remember.
what time and where do they go?
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Sorry,
Good looking out.
guys. If you happen to be in Austin and you're going to Ikkicon, we're gonna be. It's gonna be from 4 to 6. It's from 4 to 6 at where there used to be a fountain, but there is no longer a fountain. It's
There's
over by
still
the
cows.
There's cows
There
there.
are
It's
cows.
over by the fireplace, where like the cows and stuff are.
By the Amy's ice cream.
By the Amy's ice cream and the Viana.
Thank you.
So,
Tapioca.
yes, Tapioca. Yes.
Tapioca?
And the sushi place. So yeah.
Alright.
Woo! Woo!
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Good
you,
job.
everybody.
We
like
did
we should
it!
all
We
say-
did it!
How do I
Phil
shut
and I
this
need to eat.
Do it.
Stop
Phil and I
streaming
need
on the
to eat.
OBS.
Have
says
some
on here only
food.
Go get pizza.
off? Where-
I hope there's pizza
There's
left.
pizza. There's plenty of
Oh, wonderful.